Remember Adam said that we need a jingle? Howdy, everybody, and welcome to the Praise the Pickle podcast. Woo!
Woo!
Dan?
Hello.
I didn't hear any woos from you.
Oh, woo woo.
Wow, the enthusiasm is done.
Yeah. Woo! Yeah!
Much
Hell
better.
yeah!
Much better. I am your host, Benjamin Watts, and to my right, I have Mr. Kevin Hart.
Howdy, everybody.
Don't copy my... Hello, okay.
In my own one. What that?
But, yeah, cool. Yeah, do that.
Well, that
That's
was
fun.
really cringy.
No, do that. That's great.
Redo.
No.
Introduce me again.
No. What's that? It's great. Yeah.
I want to be on your left, please. I want to be on your left.
It's just like that advert from like the 1990s. Yeah, I remember that. Kevin.
Yes, your host.
How are you?
I am. Voice crack already. Tired and very drained from games. I want to say that.
Yeah,
and
bloody second job, this, isn't it?
Well, yeah. It honestly, the amount of time I've had this week to prepare things just non-existent. I've done just so much work, and it's Christmas as well, so everyone wants to get paid early, and it's just.
And to my left is Mr. Daniel Watts.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
How are you?
No, I'll ask you first.
Oh. I think I asked you first.
Well, according to my latency, I asked you first. So.
Judge rules. You would ask at the same time.
I
You both answer at the same time.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
I'm very well, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not bad, thanks.
You're a dick. Good.
He's just a bit retarded, so he's slow.
Anyway, so Dan is well, Kevin is alright, and Ben as well. So this is the Praise the Pickle podcast, where we talk about
Yes.
video games, everything that we love about said video games, everything that we hate about said video games, and what else, Kevin?
Everything that we enjoy and everything that's mediocre about it. No,
Hey.
that was it. Okay.
Everything that we find incredibly mediocre about said video games.
It only clicked when we did it live together that you say the same thing and you have a little thing in your head that you read. Wait, do you read it off with a paper or do it in your head?
I just do it in my head. Honestly, it sort of flows out. I'm just like, this is the Praise the Pickle podcast, where we talk about video games, and then from that moment, the rest just comes out naturally. It's like,
Really?
That's
Are you sure you haven't intensely rehearsed this segment, Ben? It sounds like a lot of work, to remember all of those words.
yeah, it's hard work, man. It is hard. I mean, your host isn't an easy job, you know. So,
Well, being yourself isn't easy.
no. I'm still dying a little bit, so bear with me. But this is...
What's he called?
What?
Bear. You said there's a bear with you.
Damn, why did you laugh? It would have been so good if you didn't laugh, man. His name is Steve, obviously.
Of course.
So
Is he down a chip shop?
a few of
Is
the
he fluffy?
logistics, right? So we are going to be doing our Game of the Year share, and that is going to be on the 27th. We'll record, so it will come out like a normal podcast. It will come out on the 30th, basically, and we are going to be putting forward our games for our game lineup, which are all the contenders for said Game of the Year title, and that will happen on the 21st. So if you guys, think we're missing something, we got 2 weeks to play it. So send it our way, as long as it's not like a 50-hour epic, because that ain't happening. And finally, we are also going to be doing our Moonlighting episode in January, which is the Outer Worlds one we just did was fun. I enjoyed it. It was good. And I think the other two did as well. 3 did even.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing...
If you haven't listened to it, go listen.
Yeah, but only if you've actually played it. We'll get to that. And then in January, we will be doing another Moonlighting one. And we'll be doing it every month, basically. And in order to decide what game we're going to be Moonlighting, we will put up a poll on our social medias. So follow us on there and basically just vote for whatever game you want to hear us rant on about, pretty much. And that's it. That's it from me. I'm going to go now and over to Mr. Kevin for the feedback.
Well, we have one little bit of feedback that we got from a James. He.
You mean the James?
Yeah, I mean, there's only one that ever exists in the world, so.
The James.
So the James has said, and he has specified about the Moonlight episode that we did. Said this. I'll read the whole thing out. It said, awesome. So, that was in response.
That was a response to me saying,
it was awesome, dude.
Awesome.
So I love the Moonlight episode, even though I haven't played it. I've watched a fair bit on it. My only potential issue, effectively, was how it was presented. You guys obviously talked with a lot of familiarity, which most people who may played it wouldn't understand without a difficulty reference of some sort. Damage numbers, etc. were redundant without a bit of background knowledge. Now, I'm fully aware this is more of an issue for me as someone who hasn't played it, but at the same time, I feel like it has the potential to alienate people who are more bothered about spoilers than I am. Even if you guys are specifically... it's spoiler...
Try again.
Even if you guys are specifying... Oh my god, my brain just fried off the face of the earth.
And this is why Kevin is our resident rapper. He has a way with words.
Jesus. Alright. Rewind.
Rewind.
Even if you guys are specifying it's spoiler heavy... Throwing in a few points for listeners who still want to listen, but may not have the background knowledge, might help. And me and Ben will have a small little discussion about this earlier on, because this is the kind of feedback that we like in terms of bettering ourselves.
I already think we're perfect, so I don't know what he's talking about, but.
So obviously he's talking about some people who, you know, will listen to this but don't really know much about anything to do with games and just enjoy listening to us. I think in this way we should cater for all audiences in terms of that. And I understand, because Ben did state that people should be listening, like people will be listening if they've played the game. But some people don't intend on playing the game or have any intention of it, so they would like to at least be able to follow.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me.
Yeah, I think, because every time I think about it, I'm like, well, if you haven't played the game, why are you listening to it? Like, that's what goes through my head every time I think about it. But then, like, I'm pretty sure I've listened to podcasts on games I haven't played. Like, you watch reviews for games you haven't played, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
and also, like... I mean, there's some people that listen to this podcast that don't play games at all.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, weirdos.
Get out of here!
Get out of it. Yeah, I think we need to, try and be a bit more. Try and explain a little bit more, but the only reason we're not going to go like explain it in depth is because the majority of people that listen to it would have played it, because most people don't listen to something they don't want to play, if that makes sense. It's kind of why would I watch a review for Kingdom Hearts 3 when I have no intention of ever playing it? You know, it's like,
I guess so.
But,
I mean, I watch a little bit of YouTube on games I've never played.
All right, maybe. So I think
2-hour deconstruction is a bit different, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the part that I'm struggling with, because if it was like a 10-minute video, a little roundup sort of thing, it would be fine. But I just can't see why someone that hasn't played it would want to listen to 2 hours of us rambling on about it. It just seems a bit.
I think we should accommodate those people at the very start, maybe, and just.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, give an overall picture of what the game is, but I really don't think we can. We need to cater for the majority, and the majority of people that listen to it will be people that are more into that game or know a fair bit about it at least.
Yeah.
So I think we should cater for those primarily, but maybe just have a little bit of introduction to it as well, potentially.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, so just like I mean, as your host, I can put together like a little paragraph describing what the game is. You know, where it's set, what the thingy is, what the principle is, what the type of game is, you know, that sort of stuff.
I feel as if we kind of described it, but like I think our main description of it was just for the fact it was basically Fallout, just different. But again, for people that have never played games before, they'd have no idea what Fallout is, even though Fallout is probably the perfect description of what this game is.
I mean, yeah.
Except from the background and the settings and stuff, but
yeah.
But
I mean, I haven't even listened to the show yet. What do you guys, after re-listening to it and like after thinking, I don't know if you thought about it anymore, but our score that we gave it, what did you think?
Dan?
I'm still pretty happy with it, to be honest. If anything, I might go a little bit higher, but you know, I'm pretty generous with stuff that I enjoy.
That's why I'm here. I'm here to bring you back down to earth, don't worry.
Yeah, exactly.
Negative Nancy.
I think it was pretty spot on in the grand scheme of things.
That's Kevin's phrase of the day, by the way. Grand scheme of things. So, he's having an existential crisis, so.
I am. I can't say normal words, so I have to just repeat the same ones over and over again. But there is one thing my own criticism, I want to say, feedback of that show. We need to really, as much as we can, try and stay on topic.
I tried my best.
You did. Yeah, don't get me wrong, you did. But there were certain times that we'd really go far off tangent, and it kind of made me a bit lost. Even I was the one that. I was in the podcast and I was listening to it, and I know exactly what was going on, and even times I'd get lost as to what was going on. And and for example, that whole score system I went for, it was good in person. Over a podcast, rubbish.
What score system?
The thing where we held our hands up with the numbers.
Oh,
because,
right. Yeah.
I mean, the amount of times I thought to myself, well, who gave what? Like we didn't say it until ages afterwards, and it was just a bit of
writing it all down, you know.
No, I know. I'm just. I feel like it could be something that we.
Or maybe we could just all shout out one after the other and just not let our scores get affected.
Yeah,
I highly doubt we're going to be like, oh shit, Dan's given it an 8. That means my score of 6 is probably too low, so maybe I'll bump it up. I don't think we would do that.
But imagine if someone was like a 5 and another person was like a 9. You think to yourself, have I missed something here?
Yeah, but why don't we just designate somebody each week? I mean, yeah, why don't we just designate somebody each week to take the scores off the other people, work out the average, and then just reveal it at the end of each section? So this is the score that we gave it. The problem with that, I guess, is that if the discussion that we have about the gameplay, for example, influences our score on the fly, then that wouldn't really work, because we need to come up with a score on the spot.
Yeah. Well, yes. We can think about this a bit more for the next one, but I mean, it's in what's it called?
Work in progress.
Work in progress. Thank you. And we will be refining it, I'm sure, and the next one will be even better. I mean, look at the first 3 episodes of our normal podcast. It's garbage, isn't it?
Don't look at the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, please. Just listen from like episode 5 onwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, is that all the feedback, Kevlar?
Could we talk? I mean, I guess a little bit of feedback is the Spotify review of the year thing.
Yeah.
I guess our first 3 episodes was the our first episode was obviously the
top dog.
The top dog. I think that was just because we was on the new charts and stuff, and just a lot of people. And then we had, was it 19 different countries?
Just having a look now. 15 countries.
15 countries. I think Australia was the second most listened.
Yeah, I was surprised about that.
Yeah, I was as well. We had in America, Canada, maybe some other places I can't remember. But yeah, I think as of, although it only the numbers wise, you know what, I'm very happy with where we are with it all.
Doing alright, yeah.
Yeah, I've, some people could get demoralised by it all, but I think it's about the grind, and it's about enjoyment for us at the end of the day.
It's fun, and the numbers are going up quite a lot. To be fair, it's all right. We've got lots of new listeners in loads of places. We got so on our podcast service we use Transistor. Shout out my boys. Oh God, I need to stop doing physical things. Expecting people to see me.
Was that like a chest bump or something?
It was. But we have it. Basically, it breaks down the percentage of states in America that we have listeners now. So 25% of our United States listeners are in North Carolina. So
cool.
Wagwan boys in North Carolina. Yeah, they don't know what Wagwan means, are they? I know.
Peace from across the pond.
Peace from across the
pond.
Hello. Yeah, just from all places. It's good. It's quite nice reaching all these ends of the earth. But it's all good. All right, Kev.
Is it time?
It's time.
Okay, guys. I thought maybe this whole little rappy thing was getting a bit stale.
Oh God.
So I've switched it up a bit, okay?
Oh God.
Alright, K-Dot, let's go.
I need to get... I'm going to get you guys involved.
Hold on, can I blow my nose first?
Yeah.
Alright, give me a sec.
Please mute.
Basically, Dan and Ben need you to, after every single line that I say, or as soon as I stop talking, I need you, both of you, to go. Wait, let me just think in my head. Do 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 do.
Easy.
Yeah.
Sorry,
what?
Did you hear that, Ben? Yeah, so every single time I stop talking, I need you to do that. I think hopefully you'll understand where I'm going with towards the end of this, okay? Yeah?
Okay.
And just a FYI, this has nothing to do with how to get in contact with us, because I could not for the life of me figure this out.
What's the point in it then?
Why are you doing it then? Kevin's just using this platform as a stage for himself.
I'm going to be honest with you, I had barely any time to do this, and I thought switching it up, and then I was going to implement it all, but I just didn't have the time. You know what? I've done this now, and I want to see how it goes. Maybe in the future I will implement it, and then I can switch it up every single week. Okay.
Okay.
I have no idea what we're about to do here, but sure. Okay, let's go with it.
I feel like he thinks he's bloody Freddie Mercury or something. Alright, I'm ready.
Right. I'm going to count down, then I'll begin, and you do your bits, yeah?
Yeah, I'm ready. It's going to sound so good with me and Dan out of sync as well.
3, 2, 1. Pickle. We sit down on a Friday to record and praise the Pickle podcast. Ben introduces himself as our showman host. Dan reads the news. Up to date podcast. But Ben and Dan like to argue as Ben's some kind of jerk.
What?
You gotta fight for your right to podcast.
What just happened?
And that's that.
That might be the strangest thing I've ever done for the internet. That had absolutely nothing to do with feedback whatsoever.
Just did some podcast magic.
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 Is that the word you're going for? Kev, what the hell was that?
I thought I'd try and, instead of having a rap, make it a bit of a song and then get you guys involved, but...
Oh, that was so funny.
Rule number one of editing this podcast is we cut nothing except silence. So
just cut Ben and Dan for it. There's just a silence after every single thing I say, or just cut my voice every now and then. You both are like,
wow,
Kev,
that was special.
That was. It was.
What was it?
Experimental.
Yeah. I'll go with
I'll
that.
give you that. Thank you. Is that?
Yes. Thank you, Kevin. That was.
Thank you, Kevin.
That was. Yes.
In my head, it's gonna go so well.
How'd it pan out, Kev?
It could have been a bit better.
Yeah, well, I'm glad. I'm glad you saw you heard the same thing as us. So, Kevin.
Oh yeah, let's go through the list.
Yeah. If people want to leave us feedback, ask us questions about anything really, like our opinions on a certain topic within gaming culture, or our opinions on a new game that one of us has played, or an old game that one of us has played, or anything like that, or they just want to share some love and support for everything that we do. How do they do it, Kev?
Well, you can write to us via email, praisethepicklepodcast@gmail.com. You can go to Instagram and search Praise the Pickle Podcast. You can go on Facebook, search Praise the Pickle Podcast in Facebook, or the final one, which is Twitter, which is @Praise the Pickle.
Thank you.
And I feel like, I have a really good question we could do for next week.
Go on.
But someone has to ask the question.
A really good question we could do, by which you mean...
We can answer.
We could answer, okay.
Yeah.
That's not how it works, Kevin.
That's not how feedback works, Kev. Yeah.
Kevin,
That's
I
like
could write feedback in
falsifying
for myself.
news, right? You can't do it. Okay, let's move on. Kevin, your feedback section was a disaster. Thank you for that.
That's it, I'm done with it.
Thank you for the effort,
raps.
Kevin.
You're getting no more new, fun, exciting things.
I mean, fun and exciting is one thing. And you called me a jerk in it. What's wrong with you?
Because in the song it says like some kind of jerk, so it's...
I love how you were like, it would make sense. And it literally didn't make sense until you did you were going to fight for your right to podcast.
Yeah, I had no idea what you were referencing until the very, very end.
Well, whose fault is that?
Yours,
Kev. Clearly not yours, Kevin.
Alright, Dan.
Yes.
Do you want a news intro?
Oh, now I've got... No, please, no more intros, no more singing, no more jingles, no more... I feel under so much pressure right now.
God, Dan is such a sour plum, isn't he? Jesus.
I feel like I have to, redeem us.
Yeah, you do. Make this a glorious section, please.
Oh, pay off.
This is the news.
This is the not daily news, weekly news.
Go on. Hit
Have
us.
any
I don't
of
know
you-
anything. Go on, go. I'm so excited. Go.
Okay. Have any of you played Halo yet?
No.
No.
So, as most people should probably or might know by now, Halo Reach came out as part of the Master Chief Collection on PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's already the third. I mean, it was the third most played game on Steam, like the day it came out, basically.
It's on
So
Steam?
yeah, it's doing really not Steam.
No, I didn't know it was on Steam.
Oh yeah, I thought you said Steve.
It's on Steam.
That
Not
bears
Steve.
getting involved too
Steam.
much. Yeah. So
The third
apparently
most played game on Steam.
third most played.
Can you not hear me or something? I said third, didn't I?
Oh, I didn't. Yes, Ben, you're correct. This is the third most played game on Steam.
That's
People
mad.
are very excited about it. It's propelled up there, and bearing in mind that the sheer number of people playing it, I did have a number, but I can't find it right now. It's like millions and millions of people have bought this game. People that aren't using the Game Pass for some reason. I don't understand why you wouldn't just pay like £3 a month.
Well, I mean, Adam, yeah.
Adam's like, it doesn't support the developers, but it does, kind of.
Kind of.
Anyway. Yeah, there's that. All right, Kevin, you might like this one. Ben, you're going to love this one too, actually. So, do you know who is now moving, who is now changing industry and moving from the music industry into the esports commentating world?
Eminem.
Close. Okay, not really that close.
NF?
No. So, Mr.
Little Wayne.
the god, the G himself, Snoop
T-Pain.
Doggy Dog.
Oh my god! Yes.
It's becoming an NHL 20 EA Sports esports commentator.
Oh, that's gonna be
he's
so
gonna
Oh
good.
my god.
Oh
So, yeah.
man.
I might actually have to get into NHL now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
mad. Oh man, I still think Little Wayne needs to join the bandwagon and get involved. I imagine Little Wayne
sure.
doing a bit of League of Legends,
I will listen to that.
shoutcasting, you know.
It'd be like the whole battle begun and be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
That's
the
mad,
news
man.
sucks this week. I've got like nothing.
I know Christmas news is odd. There's like,
There's like nothing going on this week. I don't
Yeah.
really know how to stretch these things out. I mean, I
mate,
could.
if there's nothing to stretch, don't stretch it, you know.
All right, fine. Next one.
You get a
So
tattoo if you
Amazon
want.
Black Friday customers
Yep.
who ordered Nintendo Switches,
Yep.
a lot of them were not sent Nintendo Switches. They were sent completely and utterly random items instead.
What?
This literally ranged from toothbrushes to condoms to tambourines. Like literally the most random, unrelated objects. I don't know what happened with Amazon's system, but
Oh,
people
so
were very,
true.
very confused. I feel so sorry for the people that haven't read this news and have just like got the box, kept it in the package, and then it's like, yeah, I got it ordered as an Amazon gift, so it's already pre-wrapped, and I'm gonna give it to my kid on Christmas Day, and their kid's gonna open up like a replacement plug socket or something.
Oh man, that is gonna be so funny.
There's gonna be some people. I don't doubt it. So
Oh, yeah. Serious,
honestly, I think the post and everything has just been absolutely messed up this Christmas. This maybe a bit of a different thing, yeah. But I ordered something from Amazon, and that like 2 items together, and instead of delivering it to my house or giving it to my next door neighbour, who a lot of my parcels have gone to, or putting it next to the closest depot, they just sent it back to the warehouse. And then went to give me my refunds, and then it comes back to me wanting to order the same items because I need them for Christmas presents, and it's now £5 more expensive.
Kevin, I know why they did it.
Why?
Because, so basically what they did is, rather than delivering it to you, they shipped it back to the warehouse, opened the box, took one of the puzzle pieces out, and then sent it back to you.
If anyone doesn't know, I'm building a puzzle right now, and one piece I'm pretty sure is missing. I could be very wrong at the moment, but that's why Ben has said that. Dan has said that.
I'm assuming the person who will be receiving this gift is not listening to this podcast. Otherwise,
no.
Spoiler alert, I guess.
Well, you don't know that. I haven't said that it's for anyone. Exactly. I didn't I? Oh, Jesus. Oh,
yes, you did.
Oh, Lord Almighty.
All right, next one.
There's more?
Yeah, I've got all these like little random quickfire ones. I've got 2 more.
God, it's proper Christmas news, isn't it?
Do you guys remember like a few weeks ago we spoke about the Outlast poster teaser?
Yeah, yeah, go on.
There's more information. You ready for
this?
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys, one of you, I think it was you, Kevin, guessed totally right.
2-player. Oh!
Yeah. So the Outlast series is returning. They're calling it the Outlast Trials. It's a multiplayer co-op take on the horror series. It doesn't follow the same story.
Good.
And basically, it takes up to 4 players back in time to the Cold War era, and puts them in the role of test subjects taking part in a mysterious experiment. So yeah, we don't really know anything else other than the fact that it's definitely going to be a multiplayer co-op experience of sorts.
Holy goose on a stick.
Another little bit came out as
well. The name worries me, I'll be honest. Trials.
Yeah, that kind of put me in a bit of a funky situation, but...
Yeah. I mean, if it makes you feel any more confident in this, Ben, they have also announced that this is not Outlast 3, but that they will eventually make the third fully fledged entry in the series, so that is definitely coming at some point.
Okay,
that's good.
Yeah, this isn't going to replace that at all. This is just a completely like a side project, like a spin-off in a way.
It's their backup just in case everyone absolutely hates it and thinks it's the most useless thing ever.
It might be. It sounds kind of experimental though, which I like. It's something.
Oh my god! Imagine if they made it VR.
I think was one of the Outlast games VR ported at one point. I don't
think any of them have been VR. No.
Okay. I mean, obviously PC modders would have done it at some point, but cool. All right. Well, one last thing for you guys then.
Sorry, I got invaded again.
God, get out of it, Charlotte.
Get out of it, Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte, leave.
She's already gone.
If you're gonna.
Oh, okay.
What did she bring you this time?
No, she took my vape.
Oh.
Sorry, Charlotte. If you listen to this, we love you and we're joking. And please
she
don't.
Won't
please
listen
don't
to it. She's like 2 episodes behind.
Oh my god.
I know, it's shocking. Isn't it? She's our social media manager and she has no idea what we're on about.
Great.
Yeah, great. That's what we need. Yeah.
Should we send a middle finger and tell her to post it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Tell her it has some like deep context within the podcast lore.
Podcast lore.
There's a background to these.
That's what I tell people, by the way. When they're like, so where did the name come from? I'm like, well, you'll have to just listen because throughout the course of the series, the lore will reveal itself. People are like, oh, okay.
Okay.
100 episodes in, they're like, oh, I still don't know.
No, every now and then we throw a few snippets of random BS in there, don't we? We're just like,
Well, what do you mean BS?
Oh, sorry, I mean,
it's based on a rich history, Ben.
Basic structure, that's what you meant.
Okay.
All right, go. Next
Last one. Hit us.
Last one. Kind of interesting, I guess. YouTube is relaxing its rules against the video game violence, finally. So beforehand, they were basically shutting channels, well, not shutting channels down, but demonetizing people and removing videos and age restricting them. And we know that age restricting a video can cause big problems for advertisement.
Yeah.
So, advertisers or companies won't want to advertise on a channel that's been flagged. But they finally said that they're going to take a step back and not really treat violence in video games so seriously. I think this is really promising because the idea of violence in video games, which I think is a bit of a vague, weird term in a way, because you could say like Super Smash Brothers was a violent video game. You could say any fighting game or game where there's a combat system in any way, shape, or form is violent. I guess you could say Zelda's violent because you kill things with your sword. Like,
I mean, it is pretty brutal. Come on.
Yeah, should definitely be an 18 rated, that game.
Yeah,
You know, M for mature or R rated or whatever you guys across the pond say. I'm not sure how your system works, but I love you.
Please keep listening.
Please don't leave. So they're saying the new distinctions between actual. Wow, I really messed that sentence up. I started reading it from halfway through and it made no sense.
Don't worry, I messed up a lot of sentences when I was talking.
Taking a leaf out of Kevin's book.
Whoa,
so
put that leaf back, please.
Sorry, Kevin. In a policy enforcement update posted yesterday, YouTube announced a series of changes coming to the site's content and moderation. Most of them centered around new distinctions between actual real-world violence and the scripted or simulated violence you see in video games. So from now on, scripted or simulated violence found in video games will be treated the same way as other types of scripted content, rather than as depictions of actual violence. So beforehand they were saying, look, if you see somebody beating somebody up in a clip from a video game, in a review or in a Let's Play or whatever, then it's treated the exact same way as seeing a real person beating up a real person, or like an actual bit of real life footage. So they're basically stopping that. People have been asking for it for a while from the sounds of it, and they've just relaxed the rules on it,
Jesus.
which I think is great. So yeah, because like obviously God of War is a violent video game, but it's not horrible. It's not, you know.
No. And if anything, it teaches you how to beat the gods, just in case they start taking over the world.
Yeah,
exactly. It's like a tutorial.
Yeah, every game is a tutorial if you think about it.
Yeah, GTA. It's a tutorial of how to rob someone.
Yep.
You know, assassinate some people.
Untitled Goose Game. What would happen if you turn into a goose?
Or what would happen if you saw a goose stealing your stuff?
Yeah, how do you react? Yeah, you run a little bit faster. That's it.
If you see a goose having a picnic, you think to yourself, "What's going on there? Should check it out."
Pokemon: how to imprison wild creatures and force them to fight each other against their will.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just simple.
It's like dog fighting. Dog fighting tutorial, isn't it?
Who doesn't want to know how to start a dog fighting group?
Yeah, if you want to start up a gym, like a proper dog fighting tournament, Pokemon, you just learn
now
from
have the
Brock,
skills to do
just
that.
Learn from Brock. It's all good.
I mean, you think about it. People say you need experience to go and get new jobs and stuff, but you can say to yourself, well, I spent a good 15 hours becoming I don't know, a professional footballer on FIFA.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's basically
you put it in your CV
life, isn't it?
straight away. You're instantly qualified. I mean, did you know that Jimi Hendrix learned how to play guitar via Guitar Hero?
Hashtag facts.
Hashtag law. All right.
Hashtag pickle.
Oh man, we have lost our minds today. It's unreal. All right,
that is all I've got for you, lovely, lovely ladies.
I have a bit of news.
Oh,
I'm surprised you didn't actually. This wasn't seen.
Oh, so yeah, basically we shit on Kevin's feedback parade, and now he's like, "Oh, news guy, not finding the news. What a dick." Sorry, go on.
Go on, Kevin. This better be good.
Yeah, man, I'm excited.
So, where a lot of people put a damper on the gaming community, a lot of people say that gaming's for losers, gaming's bad, nothing's good about gaming.
It's all true, every bit.
Obviously, they raised a lot of money for charity.
Who did?
Well, in general, gaming does, but as of recently, the Elder Scrolls Online community did. They raised $200,000 to improve the lives of pets across the world.
Was this the dragon slaying thing that I heard about last year?
But it's finally kind of they've hit a new thing.
That's cool.
New a limit, or I don't know.
If it's what I think
hit
it
goals
is,
and stuff.
I think the way they did it was they donated £1 for every dragon that was slain in the online world. So people just basically went on big dragon hunts and killed dragons to save lives or something.
That's mad. That's so cool. Man.
Yeah.
So really, it's the company. I can't remember who make or publish that game. But it's them that have put the money in. I mean, they Did they make the game though?
What, Elder Scrolls Online?
Oh, they must publish it, mustn't they?
They must make it because it uses their engine and stuff, doesn't it?
No, I don't know about that. I think it's a completely different engine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think a different studio made it completely. It's probably published by Bethesda though. Anyway,
I mean, it wasn't. I mean, even. I mean, about 1,500 of that money was raised by fans and stuff, actual people that play it.
Oh,
so.
yeah, you're right. It's made by ZeniMax.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I think they're actually I think they're related to Bethesda in some way. I can't remember what the link is there. But yeah, well done to the ESO.
Yeah.
Online. ESO community. Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
See?
bad. And
lovely people.
You think that there could be a helpless dog out there? Bam! You kill a dragon, you save a dog.
that's how it works.
That's exactly how it works.
Have you guys got advent calendars?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, what are you, like 5?
Where is this question going?
Mine has a picture of me and my girlfriend on the front of it. So
your advent calendar is a picture of you and your girlfriend on front of it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It was a present.
Man, oh man, that is like.
It's a Kinder one as well. It's really nice.
I had some. Yeah.
What are you gonna do once you've eaten all the chocolate?
I'm gonna glue it together.
Oh god. Oh, it's too late for this stuff. My brain.
Should we give context on that one? Because
okay.
Is she ever going to listen to this? She's not, is she?
Actually, she has started listening to the first one.
Why? Tell her to listen from number 5. Jesus.
Okay, so context behind this all. If anyone wants to know. My girlfriend saw this puzzle in a shop, and she really, really liked it.
No. Really she really liked the picture.
The picture, yeah. And it's a Disney one for anyone that cares. It's a very nice puzzle. So I thought, as a nice present for Christmas, I'd make the puzzle and then I'd glue it together, put it in a frame, and give it to her.
But me and Dan both said, why don't you just like buy, print the picture, or like you get like a canvas of the picture or something. Why are you buying a puzzle so you have to put it together first?
Okay. I'm going to put it this way, yeah?
Oh, you put it whatever way you want, Kevlar.
I mean, puzzle pieces only go one way.
For example, would Charlotte rather you go online, buy a date for, I don't know, like Yo Sushi or something, you go there, and then you spend your date night at Yo Sushi, or would you rather her come home to you and you've prepared a nice meal with loads of candles and a bottle of non-alcoholic wine?
Yo Sushi, definitely. They do banging sushi, and it comes around on a bloody conveyor belt. Like, how could you?
But what would Charlotte want? What would Charlotte prefer?
I know she can leave her response and feedback.
So my point is, you're showing the effort for the love.
Yeah, but that's a lot of needless effort, isn't it?
It's a 1,000-piece puzzle as well.
That's madness.
And you've never even done a big puzzle before, so this is like next level difficult.
It'll be easy.
Kev, how many pieces have you done?
Well, I have the incomplete frame.
You've done the frame. That's it.
Well, I have to do the frame first, but there's a piece missing, so I'm
just saying, Kev. The frame is the only easy bit of a puzzle. So actually
getting the frame that I'm going to put it into, the picture frame, is the difficult bit because I can't actually find one that fits it. But we'll get there eventually.
Well, you're very adorable, Kevin. On the subject of people raising money for charity, the reason I asked about the advent calendars wasn't just so I could call you both children, was because on Humble Bundle there is the Yogscast Jingle Jam 2019, and I would highly recommend it to anyone, any of you adults out there, anyone that hasn't got an advent calendar. this is dope, man. Like it costs like 23 quid, and you get like new games like every day throughout December. And
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really good, and it's all like indie games and stuff. But then and it all goes to charity, and it's like they've raised $1,876,000 already, and it's like the 7th.
Already.
What did you say it was called? It was the Yogscast what now?
Jingle Jam. It's on Humble Bundle. So any of you guys out there that haven't done it yet, haven't got an advent calendar, just do it. It's just like giving 20 quid to charity, and you get tons of games. And like even if you look at the games now and you're like, right, okay, and you add them all to your Steam library. I've done this for a few years in a row now, and a lot of the games on there I've ended up playing, not realising that they're like hidden gems sort of thing. And you go through those little random stages, you're like, I don't know what's playing, you go through like your Steam library, and then it's really good. And it's,
I'm gonna be honest with you, any game that I've ever got from Humble Bundle has been utter crap.
What, really?
Huh.
Yeah.
What?
I've bought 2 like bundles, and I've just been. I remember one of them was like this little like ship game that you had to go around impersonating people and then assassinating them, and then it was just the most awful thing I've ever played. And then there was another one where he was a little ninja dude, and I don't know. Maybe I didn't play every single game that I got off of them. But
you just have a very acquired taste. But
I do have a very acquired taste. I think we've realised that.
Yeah. But do it. It's good.
Yeah.
Money goes charity, and you get tons of games. And
interestingly, I don't know if it's related, but they're also doing a game jam which is weird because it's got a similar name as well. I'm pretty sure they're hosting a game jam around the same time.
I'm sure they
Christmas,
are. I saw this as well.
Where they get people to obviously make a game in a series of days or something. I've been looking to do another one, so I might jump on that.
Do it, man. I'll do the music for you.
Yes.
All right. That's it. That's the news. I mean, that somehow got dragged on a little bit by random crap. So, guys, we are 47 minutes in. That is it, and we've finished like 2/3 of the podcast already. We're doing well.
I think we were still talking about biscuits at this point last week.
Yeah.
I want a biscuit now.
But I stand by our biscuits of the year, so.
Me too.
Alright, should we just jump straight into what we've been playing? We got loads of time as well. We got like up to the 3-hour mark, so guys, talk about games for like half an hour. Alright. Who wants to? Kevin, you want to start this week?
No, I feel like I started most. I'm just saying.
Maybe you do. I don't even know. Alright, I'll random number generate. Hold on.
Oh, blimey. I just filled a gap with something.
Go on.
You gotta fight, dude.
No, anything but that. Anything but that. Ben, I have a dice. I've just realised there's 3 of us. I have a dice right next to me. I can roll a dice.
Alright, if it lands on 6 or below, I'm not going first.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds fair. Ben, what are you doing? I'm waiting for you.
Yeah, come on.
Ben's writing a computer program right now to generate a random number from a seed that has been created by the ambient temperature in his room.
You know what, Dan? I think me and you should take a moment to just understand how amazing games are and how fun they are.
I mean, we wouldn't be doing this podcast if we didn't believe that, surely.
They're just such... They're so engrossing. They're so... It's almost like you live in another world. Oh, he's back. Here he is.
Nice.
Coughing his guts out.
What's an entrance as well?
Hello?
Hello?
Have I been muted this whole time?
Yes.
Oh, you have. We heard you coughing.
Yeah, no, because I pressed it. I pressed mute to cough. Does that make sense?
Nice.
I pressed mute
Nice.
because I needed to cough, and then it unmuted me. So you heard the cough. That was...
You idiot.
Yeah. So it was a 3, and Kevin, 3 is you. So go.
Oh, typical, isn't it? So much BS. You can't even do it live, can you?
Alright, Dan, roll the dice. Just show that the odds are not.
I'm joking. Alright.
Kev,
So this week I have played
it's
a
still
plethora
Kevin,
of
just
games.
A plethora. Sorry, Kev,
Yes,
did you say plethora?
Yeah, a plethora of games.
No, that thesaurus reading's going well.
Oh, you know what? Every night. It's basically like the Bible.
Go.
I've played. So I'm going to name all the games I've played this week, okay? So we've got Risk of Rain 2.
Are you still on that bandwagon?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it quite a lot. Modern Warfare. It's just called Modern Warfare, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I should put something on the end of it.
Wait.
I started the campaign of that.
Finally, Jesus.
I had to update it, and every single time I remember to update it, I only had like 5 minutes to update it before I had to leave. Sekiro, and Forza Horizon 4. Is that it? Is that all I've played?
That is a plethora indeed.
I feel like that's all I've played. Maybe there's something else, but anyway. I want to start with the one that I played the least, which is Forza Horizon 4.
What do you think?
It feels very nice.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Like the music is banging.
Yeah, the music is dope.
It's
And-
hype.
Yeah, there's loads of I think there's like online live, like real live online radio stations as well that you can tune into.
Ooh.
So if you go into the settings, in the audio settings somewhere you can switch on a feature that allows you to tune into live internet radio stations, like real ones, and it's hype as well because some of them have been made, or at least kind of designed around the idea that they're going to be streamed through this game. So they have all these little bits about you driving around, and
Yeah.
it's super immersive, and it breaks the fourth wall. It's really cool.
That is, it's
Okay.
good. It is, yeah, go on.
If anyone doesn't know, Forza Horizon 4 is a racing game. It's very pretty.
It is. That's like a proper benchmark game for your computer, isn't it?
Mm.
It must
It was,
that's a new one.
Yeah, it was very colourful.
Colourful.
I mean, like in autumn, just it's so pink and it's so pretty.
I don't associate the colour pink with autumn, but okay.
No, I was wondering that.
I don't know why. I think you should. You know them the pink and white flowers that fall off the trees
That blossoms.
That sounds like spring.
in imaginary land. The world that only I enter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then but my only like small thing. I mean, I haven't played that much of it. I've done about 8 races so far. But I don't like the idea that you kind of use completely different cars to everyone else. It's kind of difficult to understand how good you are at the game.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I don't understand. What do you mean?
So, for example, you get a choice of 4 cars at the start. They're all completely different to each other, these cars. I chose an Audi because I love Audis.
Oh, man. Get out, you sore bloody little dirty
Gooseball.
bum thumb.
Thumb?
I said, yeah.
But when you go into a race against other the computer and whatnot, you don't actually play against other Audis. You don't play. You just all the cars are just totally random. They're totally
But I
different.
think it's like class based. I think.
I assume that, but it's still a bit of a. It is difficult to understand if you're very good at the game because so far I've won all of my races and I don't know whether or not maybe I have to just.
Have you turned up difficulty first of all? Because
No,
Yeah,
you do get to choose, but I
you
kind of
need
just
to
went
ramp
for
it
average.
up. That game transformed for me as soon as I switched into like full manual mode, and it became like an infinitely better game.
Yeah.
It was
Okay,
so
I might
much
have to
fun.
do that then.
I said that to you the other day. I was playing manual.
You did,
Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah.
so many games out there require like almost talking about the games or watching something. It makes you open your eyes to a whole new world. Okay, I'll have to go do that.
Well, so play it basically. As you complete more races, it will start saying, "Look, you've won all your races by quite a margin, so you probably need to up the difficulty." Yeah, basically, just select yes every time that comes up, and but also switch it to manual and play it in manual because oh my god, that game when you play manual is glorious. It's so
have you got to change your gears yourself? I'm guessing.
Yeah, just shifting up and down around corners.
It's insane. Yeah, it's so good.
Tapping on the brake gently. It's so tactile to drive around in that game with a controller.
Like engine braking when you're coming up to a bend and you have to you drop the gears so you do your little engine brake before you turn, and it's I want to play it, man. I'm gonna play it again this weekend. It's so good.
I think I will as well. Can I just say as well, you were saying about the online or the other cars driving around being confusing. Like the way that the online aspect of that game works is super interesting. Like when I first played it, I saw Ben driving around in my world, and I was like, oh god, Ben's online, because the way that the NPC cars drive, they feel like humans. They respond to you and they sort of play with you and they overtake you and they drive alongside you and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's dope, Ben's online, and we just happened to be driving around together. But he wasn't. It was just obviously his ghost or something, but obviously he was to jump online where you could just drive around in the same open world together and join races, and it's like a living, breathing online shared space, which I just think is really cool because you're all sharing the same leaderboards and you're all doing the same challenges and whatnot. But I love that aspect of it.
Yeah, it's deceivingly. It's hard. It's really easy. Basically, it's a really easy game unless you start ramping up that difficulty, because the difficulty scale is just not the same as other games, where like whatever the normal difficulty is just piss easy, like nothing. Where I can't remember what the difficulties are called on that, but I'm playing it on something which I would never play any game in, like really high, in manual as well. It's like, I was just looking to see if there's a list of the difficulties now, but I'm like one from the highest maybe difficulty, and then I'm playing it in manual without the traction control and stuff like that, and oh man, it's so good, like. And the cars are so realistic as well. I mean, I say that like I've driven a fucking Lamborghini. I clearly haven't. But like, everything just feels so correct. Does that make sense? Like everything you do feels right. Like when you completely slide out of control, sort of thing. You're like, well, that would happen if if you clip the edge of the road, sort of thing, and then you sort of start sliding out, and then you don't turn into the slide, and then you just go do a few free donuts, stuff like that. And it just feels like it's the correct thing that would happen in that situation, sort of thing. So, all
right, yeah, I'll have to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, I'd say would be Risk of Rain 2. We'll go back to that. I'm going to say right now, me and Ryan had a game the other day, and I'm kind of teaching him the ways in which you have to do this game.
Fucking hell, you little snob.
So you have to play this game with ridiculous pace, meaning waiting around for things and boxes and opening all the boxes on the level don't do. This game you have to basically... You want to be on stage 3 by the time you're like maybe beginning of medium, halfway through medium. You want to be you want to be shifting them levels quickly, because I think just by the way the difficulty ramps up and the multiplier kind of thing, if you wait too long, you end up actually falling behind, even if you are getting more items.
But what the game has no? For what reason? Why are you doing that?
What? Skipping through levels?
Yeah.
Because things spawn quicker later on in levels, and you get more money quicker, and you can open more boxes quicker, and everything. You essentially want to be getting through the first stages because they take such a long time. Because the difficulty meter will always be going up at the same speed, but you get more items later on in the game because you can kill things quicker, you can open more boxes, you can do more stuff.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
I know, but I again, it's just like this late game or post game content sort of thing where I'm just like, right, yeah, you're saying like, yeah, you got to rush through, but why? You're not, you can't complete it. There's no rush through for what purpose? What are you trying to achieve?
Okay. Think about but I'm assuming on the difficulty that the medium difficulty, you've probably never been past stage 5, 6,
something like that. Yeah.
You have no idea just how ridiculously crazy and fun it can be, especially if you get certain builds that match your character. I mean, for example, it's one of those things. I understand it is difficult to play a game where you have no real end goal. You don't ever actually play for anything. You don't jump into a game and you have a certain person to beat or anything like that. It's simply just you do a level, you run around, you grind for a bit, you get your items, you do a teleporter, you go to the next level. But I feel like it's almost the challenge to get to the next stage. Because, I mean, for me, by the time I get to stage 5 or 6, that's when, me being able to beat them levels it's simply just skill for me. A lot of the time. It's me making a mistake here or there. I'm pretty sure I saw Dan jump on this game the other day.
Yeah, I played a couple of games this week just when I had some downtime. I had one really good run where I was playing the first character with the 2 machine guns, 2 pistols, and I found a tack speed 3D printer, like you were talking about the other week, and I just had like 15 or 20 stacks of attack speed, and I was just melting stuff, and it was fun. I'm not gonna lie, that was a lot of fun. I died eventually because I messed up, like you said. A boss hit me and I didn't dodge the attack or prepare for it. And today I played a quick game as well as the bow and arrow lady, the Huntress, I think she's called.
Yeah.
And I worked out that the map with the broken ship in the middle.
Yeah.
The one where we fought that big old boss above the fountain before the big eyeball thing. I think the way you summon that is by destroying all the eggs around the map.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
I only just worked it out today, and I thought that was a nice kind of little level design.
Little bonus Easter egg,
thing. Yeah, I mean that boss completely wiped the floor with me, but still, it was fun to discover that. So I think the game's got lots of nice little discoveries to make as you progress through, but I don't think it does it like Hades does it, for example, where you've just got this unraveling story and all these really cool new features and narrative aspects. I
still feel like we have to give the game some part for it being in early access. I think for an early access game, it's very good.
Yeah, and again, I'll highlight the fact that it's a multiplayer game. I think it's a really, really good multiplayer game, and I think it's a really nice time killer single player game. Yeah, I really like it.
Maybe it's just not your thing, Ben.
I'm just trying to. Okay, I'm just trying. Is it just a number thing then? Is it literally you just want to get to the latest stage possible? Is that what you're trying to do?
I feel okay. I see it as the early stages are there to kind of build on something. I feel that the real challenge is when you hit the level 3, 4, or 5-ish. You really have to grind and do the right things to then get to a point where you're comfortable with what you've got in the start. And I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to.
I know what you mean. I'm like,
I've got a potential analogy for the psychology potentially. So I think it's kind of like a racing game because when you're playing it, it's not just shooting enemies at your own pace. It's a balancing act of how long do I stay, how long until I move on. But you're always kind of racing against this constant ticking time bomb, I guess. And if you let it tick for too long, it will beat you. So I guess it's the same psychology as, say, playing Mario Kart single player or doing time trials or something like that. It's that kind of satisfaction you get as you keep beating your own high score with a sense of sort of randomization and...
But that's what I'm asking, is the high score thing. I'm like... What are you?
Yeah.
What are you? Are you playing to get a high score? Or are you playing to get to the latest level? Are you like?
I feel like at the moment I'm just playing to unlock new items and stuff that I've never had before. For example,
Okay, there you go. There's the answer. That's it. Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, I didn't I probably in reality probably won't go back to it, but like, I just trying to get into the mind of someone that has played it a lot and sort of trying to figure out why.
See, that's interesting because that's not the reason that I play it at all. For me, the stuff that you unlock as you're playing it are kind of nice
bonus
pick-me-ups to just keep you going a bit longer when you're about to put it down. You're like, oh, actually, there's something a bit different this time, but it's not. I don't go into the game thinking I'm going to try and unlock this time. It's nice to know that they're there, but for me, it is about that 1 or 2 playthroughs where you just try and get a bit further. But then I guess for me it's a different mindset because I come from a background of quite hardcore MMORPGs and action RPGs and lots of number, statistical, loot-driven stuff. So different mindsets. It's just interesting to see why people play that sort of thing.
Yeah,
I mean, I haven't played too much of it again, but I still just I think it's quite a. I think it's just a bit of a fun game, and it is.
It is fun. Don't get me wrong, it is fun. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the time my main goal is to get to a point where I'm comfortable with what I've got, and so far I've only ever actually probably done that once.
Yeah.
Where I can actually run around and barely press a button, or I mean,
to be fair, I've done that with Binding of Isaac. Well, I've played like hundreds and hundreds of goes, and then 1 in 100 goes, you'll have like this crazy kit, and it's just so fun in that one one time that it happens that you just grind through again just to get it, and it's like that. It's almost like gambling, isn't it? You just get addicted to the idea of getting new funky combinations, and yeah.
Although I think the one thing that Binding of Isaac does do right that this other one doesn't do too good. The items do have synergy. There is that, and a lot of the times they can work in your favour or they can work out of your favour.
Yeah.
But you have to know the items in order to. But Binding of Isaac does it really well.
Yeah, it's no comparison. Like Binding of Isaac and there's a lot of games like that. I mean, to be fair, most of them are more basic, I guess. But like Risk of Rain. Like we've said it before, that having no different weapons and the items are just a bit boring. That's my issue with it, to be honest. I don't really feel like I'm that. I don't feel like there's that much fun to be had in terms of the game. Like in terms of gameplay, it's like super fun, but in terms of finding these crazy combinations and stuff, that just doesn't really happen.
I mean, for example, I had this one combination, where There's an item in the game where it's called fireworks. That whenever you open or
I got that today as well.
Yeah, open something or open the little coin things, or you press a shrine, anything like that. It basically fireworks will come out of it and attack people.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I also had the thing where you do if you get hit or you hit people with damage, you get more money. Now I had 2 of them. And I had about 5 rockets. Every single time I opened a chest, it'd kill something, so I'd get all my money back. So I could near enough run to every single chest, get every single item, and it was one of the, again. It was like it was one of the things I saw. I was like, that's some good synergy. You think to yourself. I mean, admittedly, I didn't have to do any work myself, and it was for the fact that one of those fucking jellyfish blew me up again.
The bloody jellyfish.
Yeah, they're still my my weakness. But
this week in the news, Kevin gets blown off by a jellyfish.
That's going in the episode name.
Alright, anyway.
That's enough.
My next
game, go.
Yeah. It's Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, God, I'm
finally.
excited to hear about this.
So I played the level that they said about the that was kind of like the Modern Warfare 2, where there's people going around killing civilians and stuff.
I think the whole game is pretty much
brutal
along those lines. Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing I didn't like about the level is it was very... Okay. Let's imagine me in this situation. I'm walking along and it tells me to do something. As I'm doing it, a scripted event happens and I die. It then spawns me back, so I know that scripted event's happening, so I can dodge that scripted event. I then go further on, it tells me to do something, a scripted event happens, and I die. So
it's trial and error, basically. Yeah, no,
it is trial and error, but it's a really stupid trial. I mean, for example, I think the first time I died was just out of nowhere. These cars just came pounding through this building and crashed into each into the roads and just crashed into each other and blew me up and I died. And I was a bit like, okay, fair enough. So I redid it. I knew that they were coming, and then I go a bit further on, and I go to this door, and a suicide bomber comes out and kills me, and then I know it's happening, and then it's just one of them. It was a bit.
That's just poor game design, to be honest. Like,
yeah,
I played a lot. The horror games suffer from that trope a lot. I don't know if you remember Outlast 2.
Yeah,
it had the same thing where you just have like fuck it moments, and it's basically trial and error. You just run around trying to find the right spot, and then you die over and over again, but you just use the process of elimination to find out the right spot, sort of thing.
Yeah,
and it just takes so much away from the game. That's a shame to hear that, actually. Yeah, I can imagine.
And it's quite near the beginning of it, and I thought to myself, like, if a lot of this is like this, I understand and I know that it's not a very free game. It's very much
linear. Like,
you can't go anywhere yourself. It's So I've understood that and everything, but it was still a bit of a. Actually, no. The same thing happened to the game at the level after that, where you're basically sneaking around with this girl, and you have to every now and then pretend to be a worker, and walk through all like the. I'll be honest with you, I don't exactly know where you are. I'm assuming you're somewhere like Iraq or Saudi Arabia or somewhere around there. And yeah, you're walking past with these cinder blocks and stuff, trying to like blend in, and then at one point, out of nowhere, this massive tank comes along, and at the time you're like following this girl, and this tank came along, and the way that I ran, I was stuck behind this cinder block. And then I was like, okay, how do I get out of this? I just ran out and died. So next time, I was like, I better not run back, I better not run, where that's going to happen. So I turn around, and then, I completely lost this girl. So I went to a completely different place and died again. And then I lost her again, and it was just, it was
error. Yeah.
Nowhere I could go, other than the exact place I needed to go, would work. So it was a bit of a... Yeah, I don't know.
So you're not feeling incredibly confident about it right now?
You know what, yeah? The game... Like, the guns feel really nice.
Yeah.
They feel... They feel like they pack a punch. They... I had a nice little reference to Call of Duty Zombies. And...
Yeah, the guns feel really meaty, don't they? Like,
and you feel like you are shooting the gun, like they really almost shake your whole screen kind of thing.
Yeah, really loud as well, just like really full on. Yeah. And
then, and the level that I did was like the one thing I do like, and Call of Duty do very well. Their sneaky levels are really cool and satisfying. They're very nice. It's very much like, you shoot this person and then bang bang and then they kill the other person. It's kind of a It is really nice and it feels good and the gameplay and guns are good. I just maybe where I feel like I've been playing a lot of more free roamy games. Coming back to a more scripted linear type thing is a bit of a throw off, and I need to kind of get that in my head.
I know what you mean though, because it's quite an old sort of formula for a game, isn't it? I don't know how well it works anymore, because it's like every game usually gives you a little bit of freedom these days.
Yeah,
it just feels weird having it that linear, It's...
but I mean that's been Call of Duty campaigns forever, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but there's no reason I can't change it. Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't have
true.
to stick to that formula, do they?
Be quite cool to see what they could do with it.
Yeah. I mean, the Battle Royale mode in the last one was dope, man. I loved it. And it
Was
was
it good, wasn't
yeah,
it?
and it's
So
like, you know,
good.
that's a new thing that they tried. Why not try more new things? Why stick to the same formula every time? I don't know.
You got anything to say, Dan? You seem to be very quiet there.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like in order to tell the story that Call of Duty tries to tell with its more successful single player campaigns, it needs to be scripted. And those scripted moments where it feels like trial and error, where it catches you off guard or it kills you, they're probably somewhat avoidable. But at the same time, in my experience with the older games at least, the positive scripted events, like the big set pieces and the story twists and turns and things like that, outweigh those little moments. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. But I haven't played the new one's campaign, so I don't know. I'm still quite optimistic about it. I still think it's probably going to be quite good for me, anyway. I know it's probably not for everyone, but...
No, don't get me wrong. I think that is so far probably the one main thing that I think it was just a bit annoying that it was like, go here, you die to this thing, so you know not to stand there. You go here, you die to this thing, and it's one of them. I mean, for example, the little arrows that tell you where to go. You know, you are going to be walking towards this thing. You don't know that as soon as you step on this, like, almost pressure or tripwire almost. That
trigger,
trigger, that it's going to trigger this event that could kill you. You don't know that until obviously it happens. I wouldn't mind it if for example you trigger it but it nearly kills you, kind of thing. Like, you know.
Is that not just the situational awareness thing though? Like
no joke, these cars come out of nowhere.
If you were a real soldier, I'm not saying that you're playing the game badly or anything, but in my head,
that's
I'm
what
like,
he's saying, Kev.
You suck at the Call of Duty. If you were a soldier and something like that, you're walking through a battle zone, right? You're constantly checking your corners, you're looking left and right, you're just making sure you're fully aware of all the things happening around you. And I feel like from what I've seen of the Call of Duty campaign, there's a lot happening around you, and you want to be taking it all.
Yeah, that's true.
It just feels a little bit cheap and unlikely that they would just have basically cutscenes that just kill you off and make you start again, like, without giving you some kind of indication that that's going to happen. It just feels a little bit hard to believe.
I mean, maybe I'm missing something.
No, to be fair, Kevin is the only one out of all three of us that have played it, so we kind of have to take his word for it. But I've played loads of those sorts of games before. I've played Call of Duty games. All of them have been like that, where they just have these certain things that happen, and you have to be in a certain place for it to not happen to you. It's like it happened in Death Stranding to me, right? I said it last week. I got hit by a plane, the same plane twice. And it's like, there was no way I could have known that was coming. And there was nowhere for me to go.
But did it kill you off and make you start the level again? Did it send you back to a checkpoint, or was it supposed to happen and then let you continue anyway?
No, it wasn't supposed to happen. It was, it wasn't a scripted thing. It was just a bit like, yeah. But, you know, there's loads of games have that sort of thing. And I don't know. I think it's... I feel like you're putting a bit too much faith in Call of Duty because, I mean...
Maybe. Yeah, I might be. I'm just excited to play it. I've probably got rose-tinted glasses on because I'm excited to actually play through it.
Brilliant.
Yeah. No, sorry, I'm not denying what you're saying is your experience of it.
You're lying.
You're lying, how dare you? It's just, I'm trying to work out if there's something that is being missed, that there's more to it than that. But I don't know.
There might be, I mean, I'd like to know your own take on the situation. But don't get me wrong, the scenery's really cool. Okay, one thing you'll notice,
besides the shooting and the scenery, tell us what's
one thing you'll know is the people look so realistic.
Yeah,
I mean, there's this one moment, this like lieutenant walks out of a tent and she starts talking to someone else, and if this was on TV years ago, you'd think to yourself, they're real people. Like, you definitely think they were real people.
Yeah.
which that I mean, the detail. It's gonna sound really weird, but when I saw it, I started really looking at their head and their faces.
All the little paws and
okay. The two things I saw specifically was one, the girl's hair, all the highlights in it, and just every little tiny detail in her hair was was so was so.
That was a glorious voice.
Well done. It just kept going on. And in her ear as well, like. Yeah, it looked like a real ear, man. I feel like I could go up to the screen and whisper in it and she'd look at me. I'd be like, hello there.
Oh, Kev. What we said about whispering in the mic?
I whispered in her ear.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's stunning. It is stunning. It's very crazy to see just how far games have come.
Yeah.
And what about story then? What are you feeling about the narrative so far? Have there been any standout moments or?
I don't know.
Are you playing a music on, Kev?
I'm not playing with music on now, not at all. I'm just kind of, again, I haven't played that much of it, so it's kind of difficult to, like. Okay, my problem I've always found with these games is I never know if you're playing the same character over and over again. Because surely, you go into so many different places with so many different people that you're just a bit.
Yeah,
I'm a bit like, am I the same person? And I'm now in Iraq, and next time I'm in like. I mean, I'm pretty sure you have the Russians, you have the American. What you're the Americans, and then you have the who are they? Something else I can't remember. But basically, you think it's one set of people, but there's actually another set of people that end up killing you and whatnot. But so I guess there's a nice twist and turn, and there's multiple people involved, so you got a bit of drama.
I guess what I'm interested in isn't so much the grand overarching story of what's happening and why there's a war. Really, I mean that will come later with playing the game, I guess. But I'm more interested in the little moments that people are talking about. Like there's a bit where right at the very start, this isn't really a spoiler because it happened so early, where you see some dude at the top of a shop or something and he's got a bomb strapped to him. And I think it's Captain Price who's there. He like grabs him when the bomb's about to go off and just launches him off the balcony.
Okay, I forgot about that bit completely. That was so cool.
And yeah, it's a cool moment, but it's the fact that it was an innocent person and it was a civilian and he was like begging for his life and, pleading to not die and all that, and there are other people around. Like, I keep hearing that there's a lot of elements like this in the game, where there are women and children, and there are moments where if you put yourselves in the shoes of your character, your morality is put into question. Like, you have to point a gun at a civilian, or you have to do things that are questionable.
I mean, the only moment which is that one the only one that's come so far, which is that one.
Okay, fair enough.
It's literally a cutscene. You can't do anything about it.
No, okay, that's fine. That's what I was curious about. Is those moments. If you do carry on playing it, which I kind of hope you.
Yeah, I mean, both of that and the game I'm going to talk about now, being Sekiro. Yes. I hope I can get it done.
That's right, guys. Kevin is finally pulling his freaking weight for this podcast. He's actually playing some games for the Game of the Year show. It's madness.
So yeah, Sekiro. I'm going to say this one thing right now, okay? I would be struggling so much more with this game if it wasn't for the fact that I thought I was missing so much. As in, I was struggling with the game, but there was something I felt like I was missing. There was something I thought to myself, where am I going wrong with this? And it turns out that I was missing a lot of stuff, that I had actually completely walked past some things that changed the game completely. And I only know this because I was kind of looking up some tips and tricks online.
Oh no, don't feel bad about it. A lot of people do that. Like, it's a really tough game.
Yeah, so I got to a point, where everywhere I went, I didn't feel like... I feel like there was some kind of boss that I just couldn't beat. There was nothing I could do to beat any of these people, and I'm at a point in this game where I have quite a few different paths I can take. It isn't so much you have to go to A to B to C to D. You can, I mean, for example, you can go back in time, and there's literally a whole story back in the past, 3 years ago, and let's say, for example, there's these shield people, yeah, they literally stand there with shields, and every single attack
people do,
but every single attack you do, you just can't damage them. And it takes me so long to kill these people, and I'm like, I don't understand what you're meant to do about them. Like, other than literally standing there and parrying, just standing there, parry until they're, God, what is the word for it? Posture.
Yeah.
Posture. Posture gets to a max, and you can do a killing blow. Turns out that earlier on, you get this axe that you can just swing at them, breaks their shield, and you can instantly kill them.
Oh.
And these people are literally a little bit before one of these bosses, which, as well, there's a massive trick I completely missed with these bosses. So, I had faced this boss a good 10 times, and every single time I got nowhere near to killing him. And so I had to obviously kill these shield people millions of times, you know, and then get to this guy and die. So obviously, where I was looking at tips and tricks, so there's a skill tree, yeah, that you can put levels into. And this is something I did question at the start. I thought to myself, you can get levels very easily in this game, and there's only one skill tree. Turns out there's about 3 or 4. And I basically had not... Let's just say, someone tells you to kill some rats, yeah?
Yeah.
At the first, I was running around looking for these rats. Couldn't find a single bloody rat. Turns out they're just little dudes with hats on. Somewhere else.
Okay.
And all you have to do is kill 3 of these guys. You go back to him and you get a whole new skill tree. That one of them, so this boss that I came up against, yeah, he has a spear and he lunges at you, okay? There's a skill in the game that when someone lunges at you and they have like an undodgeable, or no, not undodgeable, an blockable lunge, all you have to do is dodge towards them, and it completely like negates the spear person, and you can kill them, and it gets their posture up.
Oh.
So I had been obviously when everyone faces this guy, they have this this ability. Me, I never had this thing. I was just back and forth trying to kill it, and I was forever trying to kill him. And the first time I faced him, when I had this thing, literally it was so simple. I had a few healing or vials left, and I just thought to myself, so much like pain and stress, and all I have to do, it's just there's such simple things. And for example, you can you have like shurikens you can throw as well, yeah.
Yeah.
And what I didn't know either is one hit to dogs kills them. You can throw shurikens at rangy shooty people or people with bow and arrows, and you can literally just throw 3 of them and it kills them because they can't block it like everyone else can.
Yeah.
These just such small things that I've almost made my life so much more difficult. And
it's weird. I think like Dark Souls had a lot of stuff in it that was how do I explain it? Like load of either not compulsory things or like lore-based things, like items and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels like Sekiro, or it sounds like Sekiro sort of has all of this random sort of stuff that you're just a bit like, right, okay, at the start. But it actually has a massive impact on the game.
Yeah, so it does. Everything you get helps. I mean, for example, there's something which I still haven't got, and I never got. There's something called firecrackers, and you can. There's one boss which I was very proud about myself that I managed to beat him like after about 2 goes. He basically comes charging in on a horse, and it's just like he can kill you in like 1 hit at certain times. If you don't do the right thing. And apparently, if you use firecrackers near it, the horse goes crazy, and you just have 3 hits on it.
Oh.
So everything they put in this game is so. It is needed at one point, basically. You don't. There's never a moment where certain things aren't needed. Okay, another one. There's a bottom at the moment. You get given this little grass seed from someone. I think it's called a snap seed. From someone before you go down this little into this little like hole in the floor where there's a boss, and you basically kill her once, and then she comes back alive, and she spawns all these things like these little made up creatures. All you have to do is use one of these little snap seeds, and it basically gets rid of it. Like all these things that she spawned are like illusions.
Oh.
And you use a snap seed, and it completely gets rid of the illusion, so you can kill her.
It's one of those things where you're like, how would you ever know that without looking it up?
I mean, in terms of that one, he does actually tell you.
Oh.
But the only problem with that is that he gave you one, and I'm now at a point where I didn't kill her in the one time I used it. And now I have to try and kill her with that one. I guess I have to go find some more, but I don't know where to find more.
Go and ask the guy, maybe he knows.
Oh no, I tried that again. He didn't have any more.
Oh, your first.
That's kind of a traditional game design.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Way of doing things, though, isn't it? Like, if you ever played any old school point and click games, you'd sometimes come across an object, like even like the old Resident Evil games. In fact, you come across an object and you basically be going through like every single thing in your inventory, reading the description and trying to make it interact with everything else, and just trying to work out what fits together. In a way, it's like that, but it's not because you're using it in combat, I guess. But you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, yeah, 100%. It's I mean, the game in general, it's so rewarding. Although it's painful, and I mean, you can literally die in no time at all. Also, actually, completely off topic of this thing. Wait, it's not a topic. Resurrecting yourself in this game, basically, there's like a virus or something. I can't remember exactly what it is going around. That every single time you resurrect yourself, everyone that's got this, it gets worse for them, and they could potentially die.
Oh.
So resurrecting yourself is not always a good thing to do.
I guess you only do it if you're really close to beating a boss or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like me, when you're pissed off, you just resurrect yourself and you say, fuck all these other people.
Oh, wait, so like online community wise?
No. It's just like the people in the game, they all have this disease or something, and every single time you... Yeah, and then, but if you kill yourself, you end up halving your experience and halving your money. And again, it's one of them things that I only figured out later on in it, is that you can buy these things called heavy coin purses or light coin purses. That you essentially buy them, and so for example, a light coin purse costs you 110 coins, but it stores 100 coins. So obviously, when you die, you don't lose those coins; they're just stored in a little coin purse.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it is. I guess if you can utilise everything in this game to the best ability, there's so much to it.
Yeah.
But it's just getting to that point that I have to understand, and so much more of it is just simply down to skill. And I'm now at a stage in this game where I've basically entered the second stage of difficulty.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's like characters that you can kind of kill after like 2 parries. These ones are nearly every single person you come up against is like the very first boss you come up against.
Yeah, standard. So small,
I've just got there, and I think to myself, I was barely good enough to beat these people back here. Now I'm against these people. Good luck, Kev. But I guess it's just I mean, yeah. I think Adam said that as soon as you'll hit a point where you feel like you're a god, and there are stages that I think to myself like I can clear out a whole stage by parrying at the perfect time and not getting hit by anything, and then I come to a boss and I die in like 2 seconds, and it's just a bit of a
Yeah, but I think the trademark from software thing is basically that difficulty sort of uphill struggle system where it's like, you know, like you remember on Bloodborne that first little street with all those enemies, and you sort of get there and you just think this is bloody impossible. There's like 20 of them sort of thing, and then you know you learn that bit, and then eventually that bit is just a piece of piss. You can run through there in like 10 seconds and kill everyone. And then, you know, the next bit, then you hit the next barrier and it's a big troll thing and you're like, oh, God. And then that feels like a piece of piss after a while. You know what I mean? It's just that learning each bit step by step to get to the end. That's kind of how it works. It's like a learning curve, I guess. But it's...
Yeah, it really is, yeah.
But that's what creates that rewarding thing, isn't it? So...
But yeah, that's where I am with it. It's if people haven't played this game, just go out and get it. It's such a such a well built game.
Not all of us are like minted, yeah.
Hey man, I'll buy you some Christmas presents, right?
I want it.
I'll do it if you really wanted it.
No. I ain't buying you a present.
Kevin,
so.
I feel like you just spat so much knowledge on that game that I feel like I could play it and complete it without dying once now.
Oh yeah?
So many tips and tricks in your review.
We'll see, man. Alright, Dan, you want to go next?
No, you go next.
Alright, Dan, you go next. Cool.
Oh man, really?
Do you really want me to go next?
Yeah.
How badly?
Pretty badly. I'll buy you a biscuit of your choosing if you go next.
Well, you already know what my choosing is, didn't you? From last week's episode, listen to it, guys.
Exactly.
Alright. So, I've played a lot this week, because I've been off sick.
Oh, dude.
So I'll get the ones that I've already spoken about out the way. Death Stranding. I think...
Well, how many hours are we into it now?
I'm probably about 40.
Okay, an extra 10. I like it.
Yeah, maybe.
What chapter are you on?
I can't remember. I'm on... They're really
double
picking
digits
up...
yet?
No, not yet. But they're really picking up pace. Like there was one chapter that was like 10 minutes. So I was just like, okay,
yeah.
Cool. But still loving it, and it's quite nice seeing the story unfold. It's not like a story, more like explanations as to what the Death Stranding was, and you know, just all the stuff that you've been dealing with the whole game, and as the chiral network, the thing that you're trying to like, the system you're using to like reconnect America.
No spoilers.
No. As it like unfolds, more stuff becomes apparent about the world, if that makes sense. Like it.
Yeah, totally.
It's really cool. I like it. I like it a lot. Any questions?
You love answering Death Stranding questions.
Did we figure out the whole time travel nonsense?
Yes, we did. So.
Spoiler. Careful with spoilers, please.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, so without spoiling anything, remember I've mentioned beaches before, and in a lot of the trailers you see Norman Reedus like hugging a baby on a beach or something.
Oh, kind of, yeah.
Do you remember this, Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the phrase, basically, a beach is kind of like a limbo. So like between Earth and afterlife, sort of thing, and the war one is basically the beach of fallen soldiers, basically. So, like the limbo of people that have died of war. That's what it was. I won't explain why I was there. I won't explain how I got there. I won't. But that's basically what it is. It's the limbo of fallen soldiers. The beach for fallen soldiers. That was it. It is explained more, but I don't want to spoil anything. So.
Was the whole shooting part, do you think it was still needed?
No. They could have done that in the cutscene or something. To be honest, I don't really see the point of it. And yeah, but you know.
Kojima said that if he was going to make a sequel, he would literally start again, which is interesting. Like he wouldn't use the same, wouldn't use the same engine or anything. He would just go in from ground zero and start over.
Fair enough, man. I mean, I suppose he probably wants to get out of the Metal Gear Solid rut, doesn't he?
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, that's enough about Death Stranding. I've played some Luigi's Mansion with Charlotte, and it was good fun.
Have you finished it?
Nah, still haven't. I think maybe like 11 floors out of 15 or something.
Oh, okay.
So we're close. Yeah.
Cool.
Won't talk about it anymore. I mean, I've spoken about it a few podcasts ago. If people want to hear about it, it's any questions about Luigi's Mansion?
I don't know.
How well is the co-op aspect of it designed? I mean, does the co-op work as well as I imagine it would?
Yeah, it's Nintendo, of course it does. Yeah, that's really good.
But it's built for co-op, isn't it? It's not just like throwing another person in.
No, so if you play by yourself, you're playing as two characters.
Oh, I see.
And if you play co-op, then you play as one each. That's basically it. Like, look,
of course, yeah, because it's Luigi and Luigi.
Exactly, yeah. And Luigi can only do certain things, and Luigi can only do certain things, and it's so it works gloriously in co-op, I would say.
Good old.
Perfect.
Any more?
Not really, apart from can I have it?
You
when
can
you're
borrow
done.
it when we're done. Bloody hell. All right. Have I?
Can I ask something? It's not about Luigi's Mansion.
No. The next one.
Oh.
I'm joking. You sound so upset.
So I saw something that Charlotte stuck onto Instagram. It was about her being so happy that you enjoy playing games.
Yeah.
You were playing a game. It was a very old style game.
Yeah.
What was that?
Well, do you want me to continue or?
No,
That's the point of this section.
I know, but I want to know exactly what that game was. I want to know it right now.
You asked me afterwards.
Right. No, I want to know what that question is right now. What the answer to that question is now.
Do it last, Ben.
No, I'll do it. I've got like juicy ones for last. So the next game that I think you saw me play it, Dan. I think The Messenger.
Oh yeah, I did. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's the game that I was playing, Kev.
Okay.
The Messenger is, I think, it's by those people that made Hotline Miami and stuff.
Is it?
I feel like it is.
Look
it up.
I've forgotten what they're called. I'll find out. You carry on.
Yeah, cool. So basically, I think it's 8-bit. It's an 8-bit. Dan might have to explain what 8-bit means, but like old school SNES style graphics, pretty much. It's a side scroll, proper old school game. Like Kevin said, like it's that quite simple, like X to attack, and then it's just about positioning, and you can throw shurikens, and you play as like a ninja dude, basically. But then, and it's really good, and it's quite comical as well, quite funny. So like you're playing as the messenger, and there's just like Satan or something attacks your village, and then you have to deliver a message to these like saint people or something at the top of a mountain. So you have to go through loads of stages to get there, and then when you get there, there's like a little twist, which is quite cool. But it's just quite a fun, easy game. It's not easy by any means. It's bloody hard.
I was gonna say, when I was watching you play it, you were
easy.
like losing.
I didn't mean easy. I meant easy as in like, in theory, a relaxing game to play. But it's
Celeste is like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's similar to Celeste in a lot of ways actually. Like lots of dying and restarting, and the boss fights are really cool. It has a proper old school SNES feel. So if you want to play like a new SNES game, go for it. Yeah, it's good. I enjoy it. It's on Game Pass on Xbox and PC, so pick it up.
Oh.
Fucking hell, sorry. Oh, God. Oh, man, I got a frog in my throat. Yeah, that's The Messenger. It's good fun. So I've played 2 other games this week.
This is where I'm going to get upset with you.
Upset with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go on, you continue.
So I went to game and basically Kevin was like deciding whether to play Control or play Sekiro. And Kevin went and bought Sekiro, so I was like, okay, I feel obliged to play Control now. I think I bought it on Sunday and I traded it in on Tuesday. Not Tuesday.
You completed that fast. You must have really loved it.
Wednesday. Might even be Thursday. And no, it's not not for the reasons of love and completing it really fast. I thought it was utterly abysmal. It was.
Well, why exactly?
Okay, all right. Let me try and set the scene a little bit. Right. So you walk in to the Bureau of Control, whatever it's called, and there's no one there. It's like, ooh, no. It's basically just a big old office block, right? So first of all, environment is piss poor. Like, it looks like just boring. It's so boring, unbelievably boring environment. You walk in and then you go and meet the director and the director of the bureau, and then you basically become the director yourself or some crap like that. And essentially, it is a late PS2, early PS3 game. So you run around with these some of the worst graphics I have ever seen in any game ever in my entire life, right? For the generation, I mean. It's just unbelievably bad. I didn't even realise graphics could be that bad. Like, if there's like something written on a wall, like a massive writing on a wall, like, you know, twice the size of your character, you have to be within like a couple of meters to be able to read it. Otherwise, it's just a blur. It's.
I'm assuming you played with your settings and tried to fix that.
Well, no, that's on PlayStation, but that's no excuse. Though that's
right.
That's part of the issue. Yeah. Is that this is on PlayStation, and you know you can't play with settings on PlayStation, and this is the mainstream media. This is what people use. You know, PlayStation. You can't just. And this is the first example I found of a game being designed for PS4 Pro or the Xbox One X, and then the standard edition just being left to rot and die in the dirt. And yeah, so anyway, in terms of the actual game, it looks like crap. The environment's crap. The story is just awful. The characters are again, some of the worst characters I've ever witnessed in any game ever. They're just so boring. They have nothing to say that is of any interest whatsoever. Right, I've heard one person talk about this game, and he was like, "Oh yeah, the janitor guy was probably like the only decent character." And I was like, "Okay." Walked in. Oh my god, he is dull. Jesus Christ, he's so boring.
Maybe it gets better.
No. Because here lies the fundamental issue. The reason I say it's a late PS2, early PS3 game is because the combat and the shooting is dreadful. It is dreadful.
That's the kind of the thing that I didn't really like.
It's appalling. It's utterly appalling. I cannot believe that this game has been nominated for anything this year apart from shittest game of the year. Like, it's just, you know, you aim in their general direction and shoot with these god-awful hitboxes. Like, my god, you could shoot 10 metres to their right and still hit them. And then I was like, okay, I'll get some powers because this game's about the powers, you know. And yeah, you get these powers, and then great, I could throw a fire extinguisher at someone. Fantastic. You know, they've got enemies who've got this like little level, you know, like the level 1 or level 2 or level 3 or whatever, and all it does is give them a little bit more health. And then you just throw a second fire extinguisher at them and it kills them. You know, I've got the second ability, which is like this dash thing, which just looked like crap. It was the most unsatisfying thing ever. Like, it's just the biggest load of shite I have played in a long, long time.
I wonder if I'd actually like properly watched this game, because at the start when I watched it, it seemed like you were describing it. You kind of just throw this stuff around and whatnot. And then I saw like the little dash kind of come into it, but I was watching it while I can't remember what I was doing, something else on my computer. It was just on my other screen, and I was like, maybe this is quite all right.
Please don't, Kevin. Honestly,
I'm not gonna go get it.
I cannot stress enough. Nobody buy this game. It is shockingly bad. Right?
You must be the only person saying this.
That's bollocks. That's complete and utter bollocks. Honestly, Remedy must have like broken the banks to pay off everyone to say that their game is good, because it is utterly appalling. And honestly, I'm a fairly harsh critic. I've played a heck of a lot of games, right? And it's like it just takes something fairly special to please me, you know. But I can normally pick out something good about a game. Just something, but there's nothing. Literally nothing. It is garbage. Just pure, utter garbage. Remember I gave Senua's Sacrifice a 10 out of 10? Control gets a 0 out of 10. It honestly should not exist. It's appalling.
Would it have been a good game in like 5 years ago?
No. It would have been a piss poor game in like early PS3 days.
I don't understand. Literally, as you're talking, I'm just quickly scrolling through random reviews online, and all of them are saying, all of them bar maybe like the 1 in 100 that I've found so far, are saying it looks incredible, the story is brilliant, the gameplay is really good fun. It's mind-bending, it's interesting, it's got amazing environments. So I feel like you may have picked up the wrong game with the same name or something. It makes no sense. I don't understand how you can find it so terrible.
I think Ben got Control-Delete. just stuck on the delete button.
There's so many 10 out of 10s on here, and people are like proper raving about it, and you're saying it's the worst game you've ever played.
One of them. One of the worst games I've ever played. It's terrible, Dan. I can't stress it enough. And the issue is, right, is that I don't want to tell any of you to play it, because I know... Well, okay, that's a lie. I don't want to tell you to play it, Dan, because I know that you will play it and you will try so hard to find good things about it now.
He will.
Just to try and dispute with me. But I'm telling you, it is garbage.
I bet it's a very different game on PC.
No. It might look nice on PC, but what looks nice? Oh,
it's supposed to be one of the best looking games out there. It's got some of the best ray tracing support.
What looks good on it? Oh, the ray tracing on the fire extinguisher in a fucking office department. It's an office building, then. It's the most.
So I'm assuming you haven't seen any of the side bosses that have like the crazy, trippy, reality bending environments.
Bending environments.
Yeah.
Go on.
I don't know. I've just seen like random snippets of gameplay that looked amazing. Like crazy geometry and
the geometry. Dan, please, let's get into this, man. Right, the geometry. Are you talking about all these really trippy looking rooms and stuff?
I've only seen like literally like montage random snippets, but yeah, I just remember that looking really cool.
It doesn't at all. Basically, all it is, right? You have a box room. Imagine a box room. And they've basically just used the code or whatever to extend loads of random parts of the walls and ceiling and stuff to make it into like a funky shape. And then you walk in and you basically like pacify the area sort of thing. So you kill everything and then you go to a little circle and press triangle, and your character, for no reason whatsoever, because there's no explanation as to why you have this ability to use a magical circle, and you just press a triangle and you just go eh, and then the building just the room just turns back into a normal box. All all the figures go back in. That's it. That is not mind bending. That is nothing. It's literally it is nothing. That it's
okay.
Maybe it's because I like a lot of mind bending stuff, and I like a lot of sci-fi stuff, and I like shooting games, and it's just it's the worst example of all of those things put together. It's I can't stress it enough.
0 out of 10.
0.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, I can't think of anything good about it at all.
Can we move on from the bad game? I feel like you've kind of.
No, it's because Dan's arguing with me. Okay, if Dan didn't argue with me, I would have done with this like 5 minutes ago.
I'm just going to start reading out these amazing reviews now.
Oh,
I love how Dan's arguing both things in our games.
And he hasn't played either of them.
He's never played either of them. He's, what? Yeah,
trying to have a conversation.
I thought I was an optimistic kind of guy. This guy is optimistic.
Dan, play it. Play Control. I want you to play it, and I want you to realise how shite it is. Like
I'm not saying I don't believe you. I'm just saying it's bizarre because you're the first person in all of the hundreds of reviews that I've seen that has said it's that bad. That's what I'm surprised at.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I'm not calling you guys liars. Jesus Christ.
I'm not saying you are.
You're a liar and a cheat.
I think but okay, like in terms of like the moment I realised how dreadful it was, I was playing it and played it for a couple of hours or something, and then Charlotte just went, "You really don't like this game, do you?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" sort of thing. And she was like, "You look utterly miserable, and you haven't smiled, you haven't like nothing."
You sure it's not because you're ill?
No, it was not. She was just like, and I was like, "No, you're right. This is garbage. This is a complete waste of time." And I did try it again the next day and the day after that, but it just not fun. But again, maybe it is just me, but it can't just be me. It can't Anyway, onto another game that is reviewed very, very well, and I'm not a massive fan of, I guess, is the Outer Wilds.
Okay.
Dan, are you stropping? What's going on?
No, I haven't played it, so I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to accept your point of view without disputing any of your points. But please go ahead.
Don't be childish.
I'm quite intrigued as to what. To be honest with you, I have no idea about this game at all. I've kind of I've seen a few images of it, no, nothing else about it.
It's another one that's nominated for Indie Game of the Year, I think.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I've heard it's good.
Yeah, this is different. Okay, Control is just garbage, right? But Outer Wilds, I just find it really boring. But I think this one is more me than anything. If that makes sense, like
it's just not your type of game.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I mean, your response on WhatsApp, it did seem like you are acceptant that it was just your own personal opinion on it.
Yeah, it's definitely nothing at fault with the game. Like it looks gorgeous. It has this like, I have one problem with the game that brings it down to like a 9.9 in theory. If I played the game and actually could give it a 10 out of 10, I don't know, but is the spaceship controls are so frustrating. It's like being on an ice rink with no brakes. So if you're going for a planet and then you just miss the planet, you will go literally like so far away from it before you could turn around again. And when you're playing a game with like the 22-minute time loop thing, and you're spending so long just trying to land on a planet, actually could just be garbage. I don't know. But anyway, it's basically you wake up and then you just go exploring. That's it. You go, from planet to planet, and you use like a translator thing to try and figure out what was going on with the race that used to live there before your race did. So it's like kind of like a big old history lesson, I guess. And then every 22 minutes it resets. But you have all of the knowledge from your previous runs, so you just go through it over and over again until you piece together the whole sort of system. And yeah, and I like the idea of it, I think. Or no, that's probably wrong. I don't like the idea of it, but the execution is very good.
Okay.
Yeah, so the planets are all very interesting. Like, I'm not going to say, I know Dan really wants to play it, so I don't want to say what's on any of the planets, because that's probably its strongest point. Like, landing on a planet and just seeing someone being like, holy shit, like, it's mad, like, it's so good. But that's where the fun ends for me, personally. You get to the planet and you're like, that's mad, looks so cool, but then just going around and translating loads of little things, I just find it a bit dead, personally.
So if you've got 22 minutes on each cycle, right?
Yeah.
So can you just pick where to go?
Yeah, completely. Yeah. You wake up next to a campfire, and you go up a lift into your spaceship, do what you want. That's it.
Cool. Okay. So you could just try and progress a bit further on the same planet over and over again.
Yeah.
Or you could just dip your toes into various different planets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they all sort of link together. So like the story is like of the system, not of each planet. So like you'll go to one planet and they'll be like, oh, Bertie said that the Quabalomp on the Flobbygonk planet is really cool, and then that would be.
You're so good at coming up with names on the fly.
Yeah, and then you go to that planet and you can do a bit there. You don't have to do anything in order. You can just faff about on planets, really. But
to me, it sounds like such an interesting.
It is it is really interesting and it is really unique, and I have a lot of respect for what it is, and I'm a little bit annoyed that I'm the one playing
you
this.
Don't like it.
Yeah, I'm annoyed that it's not going to get the attention it deserves in our Game of the Year show, simply because it's not my cup of tea.
Well up for playing it. If you
want me to take over Star Wars and you do that, I'm down for that.
Yeah, I'll give you my login. Not that people share logins, because that's a terrible
criminal offence
idea. I'd genuinely be really up for that.
All right, cool.
Because I'm struggling to get into Star Wars at the moment. I haven't played it this week.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right, cool. Sounds like a plan. Because I want it to get the respect it deserves. I just know it's not my cup of tea.
Nice. Yeah. And I respect that point of view.
Good. Whereas Control can burn in hell. So
you haven't sold that one to me at all. I really don't want to play it at all. I don't think I ever will now.
No.
Because generally we have a quite a similar taste in games, and if there's something that you genuinely hate, and that your reasons for hating it are quite objective, like they're about aspects of the game that aren't sort of, you didn't agree with the story, or you didn't agree with certain gameplay mechanics. You're saying it looks terrible, it plays terrible, the design is terrible.
Yeah.
Generally, I would agree with you on that sort of thing.
And when I say I used lots of very strong words in that because I'm really trying to stress how much I hated it. I didn't just want to say, oh, this was bad and this was bad. Like the reason I kept saying things like piss poor and abysmal and things like that is because that's what it was. It was dreadful. I don't want to talk about Control anymore. I hate it.
Cool.
Right.
Well, you've had a roller coaster of a week.
I'm not finished yet, Dan. I'm not finished. Okay.
Okay, sorry.
No one's asked me what I traded in Control for.
I was going to ask you this the other day. Go on. What did you get?
So, I picked up a little game called A Plague Tale Innocence, or Plague Tale A Innocence. I don't know what order the words go in, but it's Plague Tale, that game. Yeah, I picked up that and I've completed it already. So,
love a dog.
Wow.
Yeah, me and Charlotte.
Must have been a good game.
Me and Charlotte banged out in 2 days. Yeah, it was. Are you guys going to play this?
No.
I know you won't, Kev. Dan? If I said to you it's like...
kind of tempted.
If I said to you it's a 7 out of 10, would you play it?
No.
Okay, cool. It's a 7 out of 10. Right. Spoilers, guys, okay? Spoilers, Spoilers, it's a 10 out of 10, and here's why. So don't. If you want to play Plague
it's-
Tale, don't listen.
It's a 10 out of 10.
No, 7 out of 10.
Oh God,
Oh,
Jesus
okay.
Christ, my Lord, brother.
Sorry, I need to cough my guts up one second.
Plague Tale Innocence.
Hello.
Please.
Stand by.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, Plague Tale. The words I've spoken
Oh
about.
my God,
so
I was
many
like,
games.
where's everyone gone?
I've spoken about so many games when mine's not working anymore. Right, what are positive adjectives again? I've used all of my negative ones for control.
Cool.
Cool. Right, okay, let me explain what the game is. So Plague Tale Innocence is basically I think it's the first game from the studio.
That's cool. That's it, cool.
Yeah. And that's probably the primary reason why I have so much respect for this game, right? It's quite a small budget, and it's basically the story of a girl, quite a young girl called Amicia.
Oh, I miss you too.
That's good. and set in like 13. Charlotte's gonna kick me in the face if I get this wrong. Like 1326 or something. And it's basically the story.
You just bend on the floor. Oh! Just come fly kicking it.
It was 29! How dare you?
Oh my God, we're 2 hours in. Jesus Christ, we're talking about so many games. Right, sorry, yes. So it's the story is about the plague, but like in a fantasy style setting. So it's set in France, and the premise is it starts off and your parents basically die, and then the Inquisitors, like the English, whatever they're called.
The Inquisition.
Inquisition, that's the one, yeah. Basically want your brother. Okay, so it's just you and your brother. And then within a few chapters, the plague starts becoming more of a over-the-top fantasy style, like rats plague, where basically there's like, when nighttime happens, there's like tons of rats, and they hate fire. So the game is basically a puzzle game. A lot of it's around fire and like how to navigate through rats by manipulating fire. And I have to say, the first 12 chapters of this game, there's about 17 chapters, right? They're all fairly short, to be fair, are amazing. I loved them so much. Like 9 out of 10, like really good. Like the puzzle elements were so good, and you meet loads of characters and you build like a little family, which is quite cute, and like this little sort of almost post-apocalyptic sort of world, and you meet loads of people, and the environments are stunning. Like some of the places you go through in that game it reminded me, remember that Tale of Two Brothers game that you played, Dan?
Yeah.
It reminded me of like you go through like battlefields and stuff with people dying and stuff like that. I think you mentioned something in that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, you're right.
And it's just completely stunning environments, and like you go through towns and stuff, and all the
quite dark, I imagine.
very dark, yeah, very like incredibly dark. I mean, it's set in plague times, Inquisition and stuff. Of course, it's dark.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
And you know, like the Inquisition are going around and killing all the livestock and killing people if they think they're infected, and it's like really dark stuff, like really dark. And then I wish the game kind of ended after 11 or 12 chapters, because my God, did it take a U-turn after that. Basically, the first 11 chapters, like I said, dope, and then you get to this chapter and you essentially are trying to find out. Oh, your brother's ill. I forgot to mention that your brother's ill, and you're trying to heal him, like with like alchemists are helping and stuff, trying to heal him. And you need this book from this place, and you go to get this book, and then as you go and get it, suddenly like rats start becoming like this weird hive mind thing, and like tornadoes of rats start flying towards you. And
Okay.
yeah, no, exactly, Kev. The way you just responded there is was exactly what my mind did when this happened. When I was just like, right, what?
Rat tornadoes.
Yeah. And you just think, what? Like, it was almost believable before that. Like, still over the top with like the amount of rats and stuff, yeah. But it still was believable, like semi-fantasy sort of stuff. It was fine. And then these tornadoes of rats started happening. It's like they ran out of ideas and just went, fuck it. It was like, what? And then towards the end, you find out that the reason your brother is ill is because he has this thing in his blood that basically makes him like a superhero. And he can control the rats with his mind. Honestly, up to that point, it was so good. That happened, and I was just like, really? What is this, man? And
way to kill
it, exactly, mad. Yeah. And the final boss, right? Basically, the leader of the Inquisition takes your brother's blood and injects it in himself, and so he can control rats as well. And the final boss is basically just a war of the rats. So their boss, the boss created these like super rats, which are like albino rats basically. So they're all white, and then your rats are all black, and then you just sort of like
have a rat off.
Yeah, so it was like a 8 or 9 out of 10 up until chapter 11, and then the last 6 chapters just went completely bonkers, and it was like a 5 out of 10 for that. So
doesn't get any worse than that.
I know.
They were desperate to finish that.
They were doing so well. I loved it. I thought it was honestly
they
so
only
good.
They only could have topped that by in the last chapter having the main character wake up and it just be revealed that it was a dream. All along.
Yeah. Like, but it was what frustrated me most was up to that point, it was probably going to be on my Game of the Year list. Like that's how much I loved it. Right? I thought it was so good, and the fact that it was a small studio and stuff like that, I was just like, yes, I'm well up for this. This is more than likely going to be on my Game of the Year list. Story driven stealth game, action, just it had everything. It was amazing. And then that happened, and I was just like, how can you fuck it up so hard, man? It was a real shame, but oh well.
I heard John playing it, and the voice acting really annoyed me. But
you could tell it's a double A game. I have to say that. And I'm guessing John's playing dubbed, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
of course it's a French game, isn't it?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of
sense.
Yeah,
the dubbed isn't great. I still played it in dubbed anyway, just because it's easier because I can look away from the screen, whatever. But but the French is much better. And
cool.
And it's a very how do you remember back in the day where games didn't have motion capture on faces?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's how this game's done. So the characters don't show any emotion. So like when they're saying something or they sound angry or sad or something, their face just doesn't demonstrate that. That's basically the one thing that brought it down from like nearly a 10 out of 10 to like 8 out of 10. That yeah, but I mean, small budget game. I'm not going to complain. Yeah. Cool. That's it. I'm done. Go on, Dan.
Interesting. Okay, I haven't really played a massive amount this week. I've only really had chances to dip in really quickly to stuff, so I basically played quite a lot of games, but only for very short periods of time, so I don't have much to say about them. Played a bit more Pokemon, a few battles here and there.
You still enjoying it?
Rolling along. Yeah, but I'm not like
overly fond of it.
Over the moon with it. I'm not having an amazing time with it, but it fills a certain void, I guess. Like it's turn based. It's nice, I guess. I feel like
it's a good journey piece. Point,
say that again.
It's a good journey piece.
Kind of, yeah. I play it on the journey sometimes. Sometimes I just play it in bed. It's so easy to play that you don't need to think at all at this point that I'm at. And I've heard quite a bit about the end game content actually being quite good after you've completed the main story, which apparently is one of the weakest parts of the game. So I'm kind of keen on getting to the end, so I can just pick it up and do the raid here and there and do some trading with other people and you know, that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I'm not that bothered if I don't make it and another game comes along to replace it.
What sort of, if you had to put a number on it, how would you review it?
Ooh, that's hard to say, to be honest.
Bearing in mind what we gave Outer Worlds,
maybe a 6.
Yeah,
a 7 at times. A 7 for the nostalgia of it being a Pokemon game. And for somebody that was a big fan of Pokemon as a child, there's an element of that. But if I was to come at it objectively from the outside, barely a 6, to be honest.
If it was a frog, what would you rate it?
What?
What? Yeah, what? Okay, what else have I played? As I said earlier, I played a little bit of Risk of Rain. Again, just 20 minutes here and there, waiting for dinner to be ready, just, killing some time. But I'm not going to talk about that. I have played... I don't know if this came out this year or not, and I've also written it down as My Friend Pendo, rather than Pedro.
Hey, I've got that downloaded. I'm well excited to play it.
Have you not? I thought you played it.
No, because it was really expensive when it came out, and then I heard it was coming Game Pass. So.
Yeah, it's. I'm not gonna. I mean, there's not really much to spoil. I guess it's like. How much do you know about it? It's an action game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's a side-scrolling action game for the people that don't know.
Spoilers, man. Jeez.
You play as a dude wearing headphones who is being persuaded by a sentient banana to go and kill people, I guess. But you fight your way through these like terrorist hideouts and bounty hunter lairs and stuff. But the interesting thing about this game is the stunt mechanics and the time slowing stuff. So you can do this proper like Matrix Neo stuff where you can point one gun in one direction, slow time down, do a backflip, and then as you're doing that, point a gun in the other direction, shoot at 2 people at the same time, switch to 2 different targets, and then do like a pirouette in the air which allows you to dodge other bullets. And you can just chain together these really, really awesome like John Wick moments. It's proper satisfying. It's got a really good sense of humour too. The graphics are not that great. It's kind of bog standard, but the camera angles are really nice. They've done a really interesting thing with the layering of the 2D levels. Like you can go kind of back into the level slightly and forwards again.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But the thing that does it for me most of all is the soundtrack. Just drives this game forward so hard. At times it's ridiculous. Like not the soundtrack, the gameplay is just like stupid with how over the top it is. But it doesn't shy away from that. It's just like there are some just absolutely nutty sequences in this game that make no sense, and are just kind of a piss take of action movies, I guess. But the soundtrack is brilliant, and I was hyping up as I was playing this game. I guess the way to describe it is it's not like beautifully composed music or anything. It's just like really awesome electronic, dubsteppy kind of hardcore music.
Yeah.
And it's very much just like being in a disco, or it's not quite a disco.
Being in a disco. Jesus, how old are you?
I said disco because the next game I was going to talk about is Disco Elysium. It's like being at like a proper rave, because you can tell your character's like got his headphones on or just vibing through this whole thing, and it's all very kind of flowy. It's like doing a dance. As you get better at the game, there's a massive skill curve to it, but as you get better at the game, it feels like you're dancing through the levels, and it's nice. It's really well done, and just push past the initial pacing issues if you feel those, because I did when I first played the game. It felt like your character was running really slowly. Like I was like, oh god, this is sluggish. But it works and it picks up really nicely.
It's really short as well. It's like 3 hours or something to play it.
Yeah, that feels about right. Obviously, I haven't finished it yet, but played it for about an hour and I was pretty glued to it. It was good fun.
Good. It did come out this year, by the way.
I thought it did. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pick it up again because it's such an interesting. It's nothing new, the mechanic, I guess, but it's. So...
I mean, it is though because nothing's taken it to that level.
Well, exactly, yeah. So it's taken bullet time and kind of stunt shooting, which I don't think is very new. I'm trying to think of another game that's done it, but sort of mid-air, Max Payne type stuff.
Not really. I don't know. It's a fairly new thing, I think.
I might be wrong. It might be very new. But yeah, it's really well executed. Like really, it's quite a game to behold. I highly recommend both of you pick it up and give it a go because it's a lot of fun.
I reckon
my friend Pedro
would like this. I was gonna say
Kevin.
Play it,
I would.
it's only like 3
I would
hours.
give it a go, mate. Yeah, it's really good fun.
You know what? A positive review on a game. It's nice to hear.
Hey, I had positive things to say about Plague Tale.
Yeah, that's true. You did. That's very true.
It was only like a third of it was shit.
Yeah, my friend Pedro. I recommend everyone play it. So another game that I've played this week is Hades because the new update came out a few days ago. So basically, the reason I picked this up was that I wanted to refresh myself for Game of the Year and remind myself of how much I really enjoyed it. Because thinking back, I had a great time when I first picked it up. So I picked it up again today, and I was like, "How good was this game really?" And it's just as good, if not better, than I remember it. To be honest, it's so fluid. It's so satisfying. The execution of the updates themselves are really well implemented. So I loaded the game up and I was already halfway through a run. I was like, I can't remember where I am or what upgrades I've got or what direction I'm going in or anything. So I just kind of refamiliarized myself with the controls and died, obviously, as you do in this game. So recap for anybody that hasn't played it. It's a rogue light. You start at the bottom of hell and you're basically trying to escape, but your father, who is what's his name? Hades, is the name of the game, is basically a bastard and he's trying to stop you from leaving and putting all these challenges in your way. The gameplay loop is you progress up through the levels of hell until you die, at which point you restart or you respawn or you're somebody's revived back at the start again by your dad, and he's like, nice try, mate, you failed this time. And it's like a top-down isometric shooting type thing. You've got 5 different weapons now, each one with a very different playstyle, and it's all about dodging and movement and just very fast, responsive combat. I love the art style. I love the music.
The art style is incredible.
Just as good as I remember. It's such a beautiful game. The voice acting is excellent as well. And just with every update, they seem to just change all these little things. And a nice little touch that I noticed with my character was that he walked into his chambers, his bedroom, and they changed the game mechanic. So they'd taken a scroll that used to be in the game away and replaced it with something else, I believe. And your character makes a verbal note of that. He goes, "Oh, what happened to the scroll of wishes or whatever it's called?" And it's just little things like that. And they replaced one of the bosses with a different boss as well. I don't know if this is a narrative thing or just a mechanical update thing. And again, your character has a little interaction with them. Like, hold on a minute, you're not who I remember. You were somebody else before. All this kind of stuff. And it's just really well executed. It's so seamless, the transition between all these patches. And it's early access now, I think. And it's going to be full access or full release this month in December. So I don't know if the last update was the full release or not. I'm not actually sure, but
I mean, it probably would be, wouldn't it? Because I doubt
they're not going to do more than one update in December, are they? Yeah, you're right. So it's probably the full release now, and yeah, it's brilliant. There's still a weapon missing. Maybe I haven't unlocked it yet, but yeah, I love it. It's so easy to just pick up and fly through and try different things out, and yeah, it's excellent. Really, really good game. I also very briefly tried Halo Reach.
Oh, you did? That's cool.
Yeah, so another game I tried, but I'm not going to talk about. So basically, I got a new mouse a few weeks ago, also, and I wanted to just try it out and see how it felt on a first-person shooter. And I realised that because I've cleared my hard drive out, I have no first-person shooters on my computer right now at all. So I've always got Unreal Tournament, Game of the Year edition, the original one. On my computer as an installer, so I just installed that and I shoot some stuff on that just to play with my sensitivity and that kind of thing. But I decided I wanted the proper shooter. I saw that Reach had come out, so I decided to give it a shot. And I haven't played enough of it to give it a proper, in-depth opinion yet. But it does feel like a console port. It does feel like it's been adapted for PC. It certainly doesn't feel like a rebuild or anything like that. And quite frankly, it's one of the more recent Halo games, but lots of the mechanics do feel quite dated. Just
that's
this whole not being able to look down your sight thing just feels so weird these days. And I get it's a Halo thing, and I get with like you can only look down the sight on your battle rifle and your sniper rifle and a couple of other things, but it just feels a bit clunky and a bit strange. But that being said, I mean the writing's awful as well. I'm sorry, everyone that loves the Halo story. I'm sure the story's alright, and the characters.
It is a bit shit, isn't it?
The writing is dreadful, but what can I say? However, it's still a lot of fun. Just jumping around and having that kind of control in the air to be able to kind of jump and shift to the left and right in midair and just feel a bit floaty. In this game, it really works to feel floaty. And yeah, some of the guns don't have the right amount of kick compared to modern day games, I guess. But they're still interesting, You still got like I can't remember what any of them are called. People are going to shoot me for this, but
was it the Needler one?
The Needler, that's
that
right.
Really cool.
You got stuff like that, and you got all the different alien rifles, and the way the ammo system works is proper old school, but I love it. Like your gun runs out of ammo, and you just chuck it away and pick up a new one, kind of thing. And the flow of combat is timeless. It's so well done, and I really can't fault it for that. Like getting into a firefight and just moving around the map and picking enemies off and adapting to shield enemies and bigger enemies and legionaries and whatever they're called. You can see the influence that was pulled out of these games and put into the more recent Destiny games. You can really feel it when you go back and play Halo.
Yeah.
And I think they just did the right thing with that. It's still a good game. It really is. Yeah. It's got some technical hitches. It's got some aged components, but it's fundamentally still a good game. I can't get the online to work, but I think that's an issue on my side. Which is a shame.
I mean, bear in mind, this was an Xbox 360 game. Like, it is quite old.
Yeah, so but that's what I'm saying.
The fact that you're still enjoying it now says a lot, because there's a lot of Xbox 360 games that you'll try and play again now and they'll be garbage. So
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's been completely remastered, like with high definition textures and
but it's more about the feel of it, isn't it? Because a lot of those sorts of games just feel like crap now in comparison to newer ones. So.
Yeah, I was genuinely surprised at how good it still felt. Like really, and the driving in it's so much fun. I forgot how good.
Warthog's driving's always been good. Yeah,
man, just whipping around the map and like sliding about is it's good fun. And the nice thing about Reach as well is you have squad mates that just kind of run around with you and jump in the car with you, and sometimes they jump in their own vehicles, and you got kind of a little fire squad thing going on.
Did you ever get it when you jump in the side bit and they drive for you?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
god,
exactly.
what a mess that is.
Yeah. Or you just see them jump in a warthog and drive off a cliff. And, okay, see you later.
AI in old games, man. You can't fault
it. Yeah. So yeah, Halo Reach. One last game.
Before you get into it, I really want to play it before Game of the Year. So, no spoilers, please.
Okay. Right, I'll be careful. Oh man. Okay, so the next game I played was a game called Arise, A Simple Story. And Kevin, you might remember me and Ben speaking quite highly of the trailer back on the PlayStation event.
Yeah, I mentioned it last week and the game's coming out.
Yes, you did, exactly. So we were very excited about this, and I expected it to be... I think we said it had Journey vibes, and by that I meant aesthetically. Journey is the game that I said was in my top 2 or 3, I think. I think I might have even said it was my top game of all time, I don't remember now. But it felt like that aesthetically, and to be honest, I went into this game thinking it was going to be visually appealing, maybe quite good fun, a bit artistic, probably going to have some nice music because the trailer had some really nice music. But boy, was I underestimating this game. Like, this, to put it into perspective, and yes, I do enjoy, as Ben very kindly said a week or two ago, I do enjoy my arty-farty games.
Hell yeah.
Okay? But this is so far beyond that. I mean, it's getting like 80s and 90s by a lot of people. For me, this game was 100% 10 out of 10.
Damn.
Flawless. Absolutely amazing. By the end of it, and probably by about the 3/4 mark, I was sitting in my chair, and I haven't felt this for a long time with a game. Like, sometimes a game can instill an emotion, or it can make me feel certain ways, which I think is why games are such a powerful art form. But this game, I had tears streaming down my face, but also I had the biggest grin on my face because it was so... I was left completely speechless, and I still almost am. So, I guess I should describe the game, but without going into too much detail about what happens in it.
I'm trying to figure out if there's a way that...
If you don't want to talk about it, to leave it to a point where you're both in the middle of doing it, I say leave it till then. Because I think
only because it's fresh in Dan's mind. That's the only reason.
But like, I understand we don't want to talk about these games, but just to spoil a game like that and you really want to play it, I just think like
that you can you. Is there any way you can not explain what the game is? Because I do want to go into it blind if I can.
I will tell you what I liked about the game and why I thought it was special, but I won't tell you.
Yeah, and I promise
how the game is played.
I promise I will play it this week, and we'll talk about it more in depth next week.
I will send you my login details to my account straight after this podcast, cool. Because I'm dying for you to play this.
Will Charlotte like it?
I don't think it. I think
not like watching me play it.
It's kind of no. I think it's kind of like Journey. I think it's a very, very personal experience, and I think it's best enjoyed with a good set of headphones on by yourself.
Okay, cool.
And that sounds a little bit cold, but she should probably give this a go too. If you've got it, and just both of you. When you've got 3 hours, it's only a 3-hour game. I think I worked it out. I finished it in 3 hours and 15 minutes or something. So. It's like watching a long movie.
Oh, cool. Anyway, what did you like about the game? Go on.
Okay, so it's obviously an emotional game. They market it as that, as an emotional, expressive game. And it's remarkable how it's done because your character, who is essentially the only character in the world, has zero facial expression whatsoever. Completely blank face, like just a solid object of a face, right? Like
Journey.
Brick. yeah, like Journey. And that's something worth highlighting because it's all told through the use of the environments and the music.
Ooh, I do love a good musical score, man.
mate, this is up there. This could. I need to probably spend a bit more time with it, but in the context of playing the game, this could be my favourite video game soundtrack of all time. Yeah, and you know how much I love music in video games too. This is pretty close to topping my top ones off the list right now, but not in the sense that you would just go and listen to it on YouTube, like in the sense of the way that it ties the game together. There are moments in the music, I want to say, at certain points in certain levels where the crescendo of it all comes together and it just broke me. Like, I've never felt like that before with music in a video game. It was utterly beautiful. Like, I'm like shaking thinking about this experience. So there's no facial expressions and everything is told through the use of the environment. It's low poly, which is pretty common these days with this sort of game, right?
Yeah. I love low poly style, to be fair, though. It's clean.
It's very clean looking. with some very, very, very beautiful lighting effects, like really nicely done lighting. And I'm not going to tell you anything about the time travel mechanic, or the time, because you know there's a time mechanic we talk about this in a week, right?
Yeah.
I won't tell you anything about how this works, except it's a way of interacting with the environment, and it's all about the environment in this game, in such a tactile, interesting way that it just brings the entire thing to life. Like, you could have these environments static, you could have them moving on their own, but when you have this kind of fine level of control over everything, it's so masterfully done. I think you'll really enjoy it, and especially by about chapter 3 or 4, you'll really start to understand what I mean by that. I'm being really careful here because there's some certain... Okay, what I will say about the time travel mechanic, and I'll let you ponder on this, is the amount of time that you're able to control varies very, 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 very drastically throughout the game.
Okay.
So you're not always controlling a minute. You might be controlling something much longer than that, and vice versa. But it's really interesting.
Basically, get the whole game right now, aren't you?
No, not at all. No, not at all. Trust me. It's... You know how the game starts because the trailer starts the same way, right? So it's a funeral. Your character dies, and he's reliving his life through a series of, I guess, like your life flashing before your eyes. It's just kind of reliving the tale of your journey through life, I guess. Yeah. It's all very metaphorical, and it's all very symbolic, the way that it tells all these little stories, with kind of little direct emotions towards people that he's actually met, his loved ones and things. But it's a very personal story for your character, and it should be a very personal story for the people playing it. I feel like pretty much anybody who plays this will be able to relate to the character and his journey in some way. And I think there's something really special in that level of authenticity in the writing. It's easy to relate to it. But yeah, I mean, in terms of... Yeah, it's a platformer, really. That's all it is. It's just a platformer. But it's so beautiful, and it left me utterly speechless.
I'll play it this week. I'll complete it at some point in an evening, and we will talk about it in depth next week.
Yes, please, because for me, this was a masterpiece. Like, there's only a few games that I've ever called a masterpiece, and this is definitely one of them.
Cool.
Yeah, and what an amazing studio as well. It's their first ever game. They've never made a game before.
Piccolo, really?
Yeah, it's their first ever game.
That's mad.
Yeah. Blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. Knocked me on my feet. And I sat there for about 10 minutes in silence afterwards, just trying to contemplate my life and everything about it. And what a wonderful experience. I'll never forget. Cool.
I'll find out if I'm a softie like you next week.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, it was shit and buggy and everything.
It was rubbish. In an office building, for God's sake. All right, we all done.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't realise I was going to have to be so reserved with my description of the game. So
I'm sorry. I should have told you before, to be honest. But I think the issue is that how much you're raving about it. I'm like, it's going to be hard for me to not play exactly, and especially for the game of the year show, because if you've given it 10 out of 10, it's gonna be on your list, and I want to know what the hype is about before that show, so
it's certainly not for everyone. As I said, it's mostly like 8 out of 10s. But for me, in my taste in games, it was absolutely a 10 out of 10.
But I mean, like you said, we like similar games, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but you didn't like Journey as much as I did.
Wait, you keep saying that. I loved Journey. What are you talking about?
I don't know why I keep saying that. I had this weird impression in my head that you were like, hey, it was alright, but
no.
Anyway.
Journey was stunning. It was amazing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Cool.
Right, there we go. We're done. That was like record time of games we've been playing. That was like nearly 2 hours of games we've been playing.
You know, I honestly, I feel like we don't ever want to get below a 2 hour mark. We just want to, as soon as it... You know what? We could have started talking about these games about 30 minutes into it and we'd still make this time.
I mean, to be fair, Kevin, you are aware that you spoke about your games.
Yeah, I
for
did,
the
didn't
longest.
I?
Yeah.
Stupid. Can't believe it.
We
I got
started,
to the end of it and
we
I was
started
like...
the section of 45 minutes, and your section finished at 1 hour and 45. So you haven't got a leg to stand on, young man. Okay.
Yeah, you gave us a full strategy guide for Sekiro.
And now
Told
you'll
us what
be
every
better.
item in the game does.
I mean, to be fair, we did say we wanted to boost our what we've been playing section. I think this is might be a little bit over the top, but we played a lot of games this week. To be fair, so
let us know what you think if you're listening to this. If do you want more of this, do you want more of the other bits? Do you want less of that? Do you want more Kevin and less Ben? I don't know.
Well, if you had any less of me, I wouldn't be on the podcast. So, all right, that's it. We're done. So, Kevin.
I'm not meant to say something now.
No, I just said so, Kevin.
Oh, your host?
Have you not realised what I'm doing yet?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You haven't actually finished the request yet.
No, I know, but every time I say so, Kevin, you go, yes.
Yes.
Much better. If people want to, like, share their opinions on the games that we've been playing, or just generally, love and appreciate us, just send any sort of question about anything in life, like the meaning of the universe, or is photosynthesis a myth, or
yeah, of course it is.
Plants
can't eat.
Just things like that. How do they do it, Kev?
they do it. So you got Facebook, you search Praise the Pickle Podcast.
Yeah.
You got Instagram, you search Praise the Pickle Podcast.
Yeah.
You got email, it's just praisethepicklepodcast@gmail.com.
Fuck yeah.
Or you got yourself Twitter, which is at Praise the Pickle.
Yeah. Basically everything is Praise the Pickle Podcast apart from Twitter. It's just Praise the Pickle.
And rate us, give us 5 stars or how many stars, leave comments, everything.
Yeah, all that jazz. We love you all. If anyone's listening again at this point,
I feel like we're talking for ourselves now.
No, I think some people stick to the end, and you guys, it's like it's like Survivor photos at clubs. It's like those. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening, and
thank you for giving us a reason to do this. Because otherwise it would just be us talking to each other. Yeah. And the fact that somebody's listening to us makes us even more enthusiastic to do this.
Yeah.
Even if we didn't really feel like doing it today.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
A couple of us didn't anyway.
Well, no, it's been a rough week for me as well, so. Right, love you all. Toodaloo.
We love you. Good evening. Adio.
A pickle.
Or a pickle.
Pickle.
Oh, pickle.
Pizza piper, pizza pecker, picker, pecker, picker, pecker.